Camera's on. That camera's on. This is on. You ready, young man?
Of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is here. We have one of my favorite student athletes from the city. He is a rising senior for the Eagle Academy for Young Men 2 basketball program. This last spring, I sat in the Barclays Center and I watched one of the most phenomenal high school basketball games I've ever seen. And this young man and his squad walked away victorious, walked away as champions. Mr. Ajani Flemming, welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Right now I'm pretty calm, not nervous, chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's a first for everything, but I'm used to it. I like this feeling.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Champion.
Yes, sir.
What's that mean to you?
Champion. This year we have overcome a lot of, I would say, personal team stuff. And I say this because it took a lot for our chemistry to be built, because I feel like last year we had a lot of skilled players, but our chemistry was still kind of new because we still had kind of the returning players from the year before. Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of new kids coming from JV, coming from other schools. So I feel like chemistry was a big part of that champion title, because after, I say probably in the middle of the season, that's when we really became brothers. Like, I've been part of a lot of teams, AAU teams, high school teams, schools, teams outside of school. But that feeling as far as you could feel safe or you feel like you're at home with certain people that you never was raised around or you was never born with, that feeling is never like...
But when did that moment happen in the season? Because I think sometimes people don't understand the championship is about a journey. You know, I was fortunate to win 2 championships at the college level. It is about everything that's done before that moment. The practices, the bus rides, all of that contributes to that championship, right? To me, it's like a punctuation on a season. Our team came together. We overcame adversity. And you talk about, after the break, your team kind of became a brotherhood. Talk to me about that moment.
I would say we really started becoming more closer after that South Shore loss at home. Mm-hmm. We took it personal because, you know, from the year before, we lost to them, where we didn't feel like we should have, you know what I'm saying, we put our best foot out on the Barclays the year before. But I feel like after that loss at home, when we felt like we had everything in our hands in that fourth quarter and we kind of sold it off for certain plays, from there on, we held everybody accountable for certain things. Mm-hmm. Certain things changed. The level and the intensity of practice changed. People wasn't really, let's say, for example, let's say if you come in practice, usually we'll stress out, everybody talk. Now we have people that never spoke in practice is now leading people, now leading others talking in practice. That is not really a natural thing.
What impact did that loss to South Shore at home have on you? How did it impact you, Ajani Flemming?
Me, it makes me also sit back and think, not what I could do better, but more of when it comes to that time, what is the right play? Because I feel like certain plays I do struggle in those high intensity moments. When it's time to score basketball and we got 2 minutes like left in the game, my mindset is just go get a bucket. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's more of let's slow the game down, get a better shot, and now we could extend the game and let's say take a greater shot. Let's take a better shot, even though it's open. We could find another shot for somebody else. We could find another.
Instead of a good shot, let's get a great shot.
Exactly. So we live off that motto almost every time we have the ball in our hands. So I feel like that game for me personally, I really picked up my mindset as far as learning the game and learning time and place.
Okay.
So after that, I really sat down with Coach Kev. You know what I'm saying? He sat me down. Certain plays I feel like we could have ran the play fully through. If we ran the plays fully through, we'd had a W in our backs.
So you felt like y'all had a game at home, like y'all was about to win and you guys coughed it up, and that was a turning point in your season. Yeah. You mentioned your coach, Kevin Hamilton Jr., who was a guest on WBH Radio. Salute to Coach Kev. You guys had a one-on-one after that South Shore game?
Yes, sir. He had a one-on-one with almost everybody after that game because we took it personal. I'm not gonna lie to you. That anytime we play South Shore, actually anytime we play any team, we take it personal because it's like, especially if you're at home, it's a different feeling because the nest is different. The nest is not no regular gym.
The Eagle nest, their home court.
The nest is not no regular gym because even though it's still might be, you're saying, smaller, it gets packed before the games start.
Yeah.
JV games be packed for varsity games, but he had a sit down conversation with everybody, and I feel like we took it personal because that whole day.
No, what was that one-on-one like with Coach Kev?
One Coach Kev, it's nerve wracking. I'm not gonna lie to you, Coach Kev he's a man that makes you shiver sometimes. But that one-on-one conversation was more as far as AJ had a great game. I'm like, that South Shore game, everybody said, AJ, you had a great game. It's just you had to finish it off. He told me personally, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna watch the game, and we're gonna see what we could change so far. So we sat down. As a player ran, I just hit 2 threes back to back. All right. Now we up 10. Now we lead to 2 minutes left. We sat down. We legit sat down. We watched the whole game over. And he was like, yo, certain times of game, even though you're open, or even though you might pump fake and he drive by and you got that shot to knock it down and get the crowd higher, slow it down. Because sometimes I feel like certain players, including me, we go 1,000 miles and sometimes we don't know how to slow down. And it's like other times where we need to go through that 1,000 miles an hour. We just move too slow.
Did a light bulb go off for you as he's explaining this to you? Like,
so
oh, snap, I get
it. Definitely did, because now that I think about it, if we would have just held the ball for a better shot, or if we would have, hey guys, let's run another set. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was not as far as, we about to win this game, if we would have sat down and really think in that moment, let's slow with the ball game now. Because legit, before we shot that shot, before we took a bad shot, that timeout before, we said, guys, let's run through the plays, full through. And I'll never forget it, because he wasn't barking at us in the timeout. It was more of, guys, we are up. Yeah. Let's play smart. These got two buckets. We got a missed layup, and we got the rebound. Call it timeout. Let's run the plays through fully. Nobody took no extra shot. Let's just run through. And if it don't work, then fine. So even though, yes, it didn't work like that, we ran the play halfway. I got open, pump fake, man, pass. I missed a 3. All right. So since then, the light bulb that I kicked was as far as if it's like a moment where I feel like I can take a shot, I'll always run it through coach. Just make sure maybe if my eyes might see something else, but that coach that is watching the game from a different perspective has a different view of the game. So he might say, AJ, that might be an okay shot, but we can find a better one for you or for somebody else.
For you and the team. Was that your first year playing varsity basketball?
Yes, it is. Actually, varsity basketball, yes. Also, that's my first full year playing basketball.
I thought so. So let's slow it down for the audience. Last year, the Eagle varsity team had a phenomenal year for the program. They won the Borough Championship for the first time, and then they made it to the championship game. It was a great year for Eagle, although they fell short in the championship game. But you weren't a part of that team.
No, sir.
What was it like watching your classmates go on that run?
So I feel like...
Were you playing JV at that point?
I was playing JV, but I was hurt.
Okay.
So that JV year, I only played like 2 or 3 games.
Okay.
We went a little. I had a great 3-4. I had a great start to my season. Unfortunately, I got hurt with my wrist and then sat out for most of it. But watching that Barclays game, it was more of the moment was different because at the end of the day, might be part of the school, but right now I'm not part of that team.
Right.
So that moment is more of now I'm sitting here watching my brothers play. So now the next year is coming up, I can learn we got a lot to pick up now. Because we won Borough Chip, great achievement. Now we're in City Chip. Even though if we win or lose, we still got to get back to that same spot. As
you're watching this from the sidelines as a member of JV or actually nursing the injury, are you looking at spots where, I can help my guys? Are you visualizing yourself being a part of that team?
Yes. While I'm watching the game, I'm visualizing me bringing the ball up the court, passing it, rebounding, kicking it. I'm watching myself play even though I'm not on the court. Now, the roles as far as where I'm playing, now I feel like I can't do that because I could fill any role. Including the 5 maybe, just because I'm not that tall. But that 1 through 4, confidently, if you ask me, I could say I could run that 1 through 4.
You can do that. Now, when you did become a part of the varsity program this past season, 2022, 2023, those guys are coming off a phenomenal year, as we just mentioned.
Correct.
That's Eric Acker, that's Shep,
Taj Bryant, Eddie Moonyak, Marquise Jones, Angel Espejo. You got a lot of names there, man.
So what's it like for you to walk into this machine that's kind of well-oiled already and ready to run it back, but you the new guy? What's that experience like for you?
So the experience was me when it comes to high moments, when it comes to times where my team needs me, or when it comes to, I'm all for the thrill. So if it's a lot of challenge, if I gotta go through a lot to prove myself or to show that I'm that player, I'm gonna do it. So when I got on the team, I didn't feel no way. I just know that we got a big step ahead of us.
No pressure, hey, you the new kid. We went to the Barclays.
It's not about being the new kid. So the Eagle way of coaching is like, even though you're in JV, 90% of your stuff you're learning on JV is the same thing for varsity. So now the only thing different is that effort level, that grind, that grittiness. That's all it is. So that's the only difference between JV and varsity. I came up to varsity, and the first thing Coach Kev told me, yo, you got to roll. I'm like, just tell me what you need me to do, I'm going to do it. Legit, after I broke my wrist, even while I broke my wrist, I was still injured, but not. I was still hooping. I was still shooting one hand. Like, Coach Kev had to tell me to sit down. Like, during gym, I had my hand in cast playing basketball with one hand. So I sometimes I'd be forced to, yo, AJ, you got to chill. Hey, AJ, you gotta relax. You got to take time to rest your body. I'm like, hey, bro, I'm ready to go.
Did you ever wonder? Because, again, that team had a phenomenal year, and they coming back. We got 2 D1 prospects, Eric Acker. We got Shep. Did you ever wonder if you would be able to fit in or contribute?
Now, I feel like yes. Because, personally, that JV year, my shot was mid-range. My shot was back. My shot was breaking you down and getting to my spot. So I feel like, yeah, because Coach Kev already had a conversation with me before the season started, before the season ended. He said, yo, you're going to play varsity next year. And he told me my role. I need a high-energy dog that's going to get gritty. I need a guy that's not scared to go get the rebound. But also, I need you to be high consistently when shooting the basketball. And I take that personal because it's like, yeah, the defense and rebounding, that's fun. I like somebody that's tough on offense and making me work on defense, even if I get dropped. Because if you're a great defender, you're going to get dropped eventually. But when he told me that personally, I took it a different way because it's like we have Eddie Munyak. How high do you want me to shoot? Like, we have one of probably the best shooter in not even PSAL, in New York State. So it's really, I took that personal now because you want me to shoot consistently high. We have Eddie Munyak, so now I'm going after his job. Not specifically his role, but that's part of his role, shooting that rock. So I took it personally. I went to Eddie personally. I said, yo, bro, I'm coming for your spot. We in the same class, we almost the same height, and we play in almost the same role. So I'm coming. Me and Eddie are best friends.
You said that to your teammate? Why? There's enough basketball shots to go around.
Me and Eddie are friends. We have the same birthday. We were almost the same person. But personally,
what was his response when you said, yo, I'm coming for your spot?
Eddie said, I'm coming right back at you. Because you got to realize, even though he's a returner, with Eagle, you could be a senior. You could be a returning a champion. But your spot is never solidified at all. So it doesn't matter if you just had 50 average last year. You might start 1 or 2 games, but let somebody walk in and really like overwork you, you're going to be sitting on that bench.
Do you remember your first varsity action?
Varsity action, yes. I will never forget it. As far as games or practice?
Both.
Okay, practice first. It was, I'm not going to lie to you, I had a lot to prove.
Yeah.
So I came out of practice as far as like, hey, y'all not finna play with me. I'm coming here with high energy. Y'all don't have to say a word to me. The only thing y'all gonna have to tell me is to slow down. Because everything I do at practice, I go 110%. Doesn't matter if we're rebounding. Doesn't matter if we just clapping and talking. Doesn't matter if we're sitting down and listening to coach. We take it serious in practice. Varsity game now. Oh my! I felt like
who'd y'all play?
We played boys and girls at their home.
That was your first game?
First game.
Okay, go ahead.
So, well, our first PSAL game on our schedule, yes. Our first game was Broom Street. That was our first game. I took that game personal too because one of my best friends, Demetrius Gould, he used to play for Eagle and he transferred to Broom Street. So that's just a little type of feeling, and they had me guarding him, and he has gotten better a lot through the years. So I'm seeing him during the game. I'm bumping him, hitting him, slapping his arm in front of his pops because his pops watch the game too. So his pops like the intensity, and me, Demetrius. I like when players get mad or when they get in their feelings during the game, that's when you really see how they play ball. So I like to push the limits for certain people to see how they react or how they break or how they really like play basketball.
Right.
So that was our first game. But our first PCL schedule game against boys and girls, it was like
conference, big time, AA basketball. You walked into
boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls. I walked in, I put that 21 on my back, and all I said was, we back at it again. Ain't nothing changed.
You scored 16 that game.
Yeah.
Your first big time varsity action.
Yeah. But thing is though, that 16 didn't feel like 16 to me at all. I feel like a calm 9. So I'm shooting the basketball. I'm locked in, trying to play defense. You know what I'm saying? Trying to talk on house sides, on the bench, giving energy with our JV players too. So it was more as far as that 16 didn't feel like a real 16.
I mean, that's impressive for your first big time varsity action. Again, this team had great success the year before. You are being implemented. Boys and girls, historic building in this city when we talking about public school basketball. What did it feel like after that game? Is it relief? Like, what's going through your mind?
After that game, it wasn't really relief because if you really look at it, even though we won that game, we took it personal because that game should never been that close. Mm-hmm. It's no disrespect to boys and girls, but we hold ourselves to a higher level than everybody else in the city. So even though we won that game, it was a tough matchup. They played their hearts out. We feel like we were on a different level. So that game shouldn't have been close. To me personally, was it relief? Not really, because I was expecting that. I just came off a great season. Even though I got hurt, I was averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds on JV. Even though it's still JV, that's still a great number to score.
What Coach Kev say after that first game of boys and girls?
To me, with the team. To me, there's nothing to be said. I did my role. As long as you did your role, you have no backlash, bro. Unless he comes to you personally, hey, I need you to be the leader. I need you to be tweaking. I need you to talk to your team. Even though you doing your role, I asked you, I need a little bit more as far as you being a leader on this team. So that game, he didn't tell me much. He's more of talking to the whole team as far as the effort, because it's the first game. We've been practicing, like, you know what I'm saying, not to the fullest we can be. So it's more as far there, we were setting our boundary. Mm-hmm. That would be the lowest points we ever score. That would be the lowest effort we would ever give in any other game. So from there, it was more of, it wasn't no real relief. It was us setting a low boundary, and then that we can never go back down there ever again. That was all. There's no relief. It wasn't no feeling where, my shoulders relaxed. Yeah. It was in a moment where I belonged there, so I felt comfortable.
Okay. We mentioned your sophomore year, your Eagle varsity team wins the borough championship and goes to the city championship. Great accomplishments. First for that year, for that program. Mm-hmm. Now, your first year on varsity, you guys do not win the borough championship. Walk me through that. What happened? What coach say? How's the guys' feelings after the year before they had hit that milestone? This year, you guys did it.
All right. So, borough semifinal game in the Nest. That was another milestone.
Against who?
Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
That was another milestone. So, same as how I told you before this or during this, how certain part of the year we grew together, we grew like bigger and stronger. Mm-hmm. That was another milestone. I said it because we just beat them twice just now. We beat them when we first played them at home. Mm-hmm. We beat them at their home. We had a little highlight reel at
You
their
beat
home.
Jeff twice in the regular season. Okay.
Twice. And then
now we in the borough playoffs and you fall short. Go ahead.
All right now. So first couple of halves, it was basketball. So they get runs, we get runs. Our punch is a little bit higher though. We was more intense because we are at home. It's tough to beat a team while they're at home, and our home ain't no regular. I don't know if you guys know.
I've never been to the Eagle Nest. I'll be there this year. The
Nest is not no regular. It's not no regular gym. If I really believe if we had a bigger gym, oh my, it would be packed. But nonetheless, to say that game, the first half, we feel like what coach was telling us, but I also feel like some of us wasn't really locked in. When I say locked in, it was those first 2 games of the preseason, we took it personal. Like that first game, Trey Sean, that game, first game at home against Jeff, he wilded out. I think almost 2010 against another high level, you know what I'm saying, big, crazy. Now we go back to their gym, they expected to win. Mm-hmm. Our ball movement that game was crazy. One thing about Eagle Academy basketball, we're unselfish. So even though we might have Eddie open the corner, Marquise Young go knock it down too. Mm-hmm. So that game at their gym, that showed people what our coaches really is. Because even though it might be third quarter or whatnot, or it might be fourth quarter or second quarter, even though it might be like up 8, up 10, we're comfortable enough to a point where after we just made a big play, a steal, block, a charge, and a dunk, you see each other high-fiving. You see each other hugging. Because it's more of we see what we could accomplish. Jefferson's a tough team. All respected them. No respect. They was a tough team to beat because even though all the little drama, at the end of the day, they are a team where they are built around certain things. They know their culture, and they always do what they have to do. That game.
So they walked into the Eagle Nest in the Borough playoffs.
I don't want to talk about that game.
This what we do in the pod, baby.
Third quarter, it started getting chippy. They started going a huge run third quarter. Third quarter, we came back, though. We saw up higher, I believe 5. I'm not pretty sure the score or not. We know we want to talk about. We talk about the low fouls, talk about the overtime. Fourth quarter, they started coming back. I feel like fourth quarter, we sort of not getting tired because we won a lot, but more of mentally.
You can't get tired in the Eagle Nest, Ajani.
Mentally, I feel like mentally, some of us was like, damn, we might lose. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I was crying on the court. I was crying. 4 minutes left into the fourth quarter, I'm crying on the court, talking to Straight Sean, yo, bro, lock in.
Crying?
I'm crying. Coach Kev is watching me cry. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to lose. Because now we got to go fight all over again.
But what's the score like?
It don't matter the score. I don't like this feeling. It's not about the score. It's not about, I'm on the court, 4 minutes left, and I'm like, I got tears in my eyes. I'm like, yo, this could really be the end. We in a huddle. I'm like, yo, I'm legit crying in the huddle with my brothers. I'm like, yo, I'm grabbing Trey. Who I was grabbing? I think I was grabbing Eddie. I said, yo, we is not losing this game at all. We can't, even if it's like we win off a missed shot, we cannot lose this game because personally, I take a different person. Me and Man, we always go back and forth. Because you got to realize, even though I might not be part of that best eye or that best eye feeling, I'm always in best eye. So I'm a Man walking up the block. So me and Man takes it personal because
one of the Man plays for Thomas Jefferson. Okay.
We take it personal. So
these are your guys from the neighborhood, of course. So it's not just high school basketball.
It's
the people who stay up the block,
exactly.
Of course.
So fourth quarter, you know what I'm saying, we're playing defense. We get stopped, but it's a foul. I slip up now. They're inbounding the ball. And I believe, who got it? I believe Man and Connor got it. I'm playing defense. Wow. Playing defense, in my opinion, I feel like I probably over-exaggerated, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I'm there.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, I love this kid, man. I told you. Go ahead, man.
He gets the ball, and just a little rip through, and I'm standing straight up. But my chest is still on him, so he can't really, you know what I'm saying, do a hard move. But he gets past me, and I fall over. So even though I'm falling over and he's beside me, he still shoots and he gets a foul. He misses it, right? So now it was me and Man that shot the shot. Man is at the free throw line. Everybody's screaming, Johnny, what's going on? JJ, why? And I'm pissed myself too because I'm like, yo, I probably just sold the game. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, yo, we got time. He gonna miss one. We gonna get it. We gonna get back over time. So while everybody upset at me, I go to Coach Kev. Yo, Coach, we good. Yo, like I think from there on, that's where I build my relationship with Coach Kev, because I'm not scared in those times where it's like I'm probably messed up, but we're gonna get it back some way somehow. That moment where I got that foul, he's at the free throw line. I went to Coach Kev. I said, yo, during the game while they talking on free throw line, I go to Coach Kev personally. I said, yo, Coach, we good. Dab me up. I punch his hand. We good. Like, yo, Coach. I'm like, yo, Coach. We are good. We're not going to bug out. We're not even going to. He like got you. And he's next play. So man at the free throw line misses the first one. I look over to Coach Kev. I said, we good. So we still in fourth quarter now. That time relief came because I'm like, yeah, he missed one. We fine. If he make one, we go overtime. Make one, we go overtime. Now overtime is different. Because not everybody was expecting us to win because we used to beat them twice. It's hard to beat a team twice. First of all, it's hard to beat a team back-to-back. Now, it's hard to beat the same team 3 times in a row.
In AA, without question.
So, anybody can win. Now, fast forward to like
you in overtime. The game goes to overtime. You were crying on the court in the fourth quarter, like, yo, we might lose this. Going into overtime, are you feeling re-energized? Like, yo, all right, this is what we wanted. We in the Eagle Nest.
I feel like I am because now we've seen what we could change in those 4 quarters. This second quarter should be like a makeup.
Overtime, yes.
We should be wild. We should have full energy. We should know the game plan by heart. Okay. We just played 4 long quarters of basketball.
Okay.
We should know what they're coming out in. Let's say we did at some point. You know what I'm saying? We had a good little, I think 6.1. That's enough. It's only like 2-minute quarters in overtime, 4-minute quarters in overtime. I think it's 4.
5? I don't know, high school. Maybe 4.
Maybe 4 too. I'm not pretty sure. But we slipped up. You know what I'm saying? We slipped up in the little last minute. And that shot, I'm not going to lie to you, that shot, in my opinion, first of all.
Oh, tell us about they won on a buzzer beater?
They went off a buzzer beater.
Who hit it?
Man. Tristan Davis. So
hold it. The guy you would have to see in the neighborhood?
Tristan Davis.
He hit a buzzer beater in your gym?
That's right there. That right. It's not about him hitting the shot. It's him hitting the shot. It's him hitting the shot in our gym, and it's him hitting the shot to go to the bro's trip. Those three things are what really hit different at home. So now,
so take me in that locker room.
Boy. We did after the game, after they hit that shot and they celebrated, and we had to go because usually after a win or loss, we would sit, huddle up on the bench, grab our stuff, and then leave as a team. We just walked straight to the room because we already know what time and coach is going to be on. Coach walked in the room. When I tell you, it was a different type of energy. Yeah, Coach Kev could put a little fear in somebody's heart sometimes, but the man that walked in the room wasn't Coach Kev, bro. That was Kevin Hamilton. That wasn't Coach Kev.
What's the difference?
Kevin Hamilton, Coach Kev and Kevin Hamilton, 2 different players because Coach Kev is a coach. Kevin Hamilton is a player. Is an overseas pro player. It's that man to boy conversation. He's talking to us and like, y'all don't got the heart. Y'all must be scared because y'all walked in this gym like y'all was finna be handed a win again. He sat down in front of everybody. He's pointing out everybody. Trey got it the worst. Trey will always get to blame the worst, or Trey will always get the little extra because it's Trey. He got to be a dope. That game, personally, I know he took it personal because he felt like he didn't play the best, personally, that game. He sat down with us. He probably talked to Taj and Eric, yo, I apologize. But he sat down and really told us about ourselves that game. Like, y'all was really scared or something, because that wasn't Eagle Academy basketball. That was some other basketball we played that game. And he sat down and he really hit us hard. He really hit us hard, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The tears was flowing in there?
Oh no, you can't be crying in front of Coach Kev. Like in that gym, it wasn't no tears. It was more of like doubt, or it was more of like we was upset because we just lost off the same shot. That side step 3. We felt personally upset because we inbounded the ball and it hit the way how the gym is. We passed the ball out and there's I believe a hoop right underneath it. As a ref, you should be like, hey, you gotta move over so we could pass the ball out.
But hold on. Take it away from just losing the game. Like, put in perspective of, hey, this is supposed to be our comeback year. Like, is anybody thinking about that? Like, yo, we're not on pace. We just lost the Borough Championship after winning it the year before. We're supposed to be better and stronger this year. Is that those type of thoughts going through the minds of you and Ak and Shep?
I don't think it was through my mind because you gotta understand I wasn't part of it. Even though they won, I wasn't part of that team. So
right.
I personally don't know what happened during their minds because after the game, everybody dispersed. But me personally, I feel like it wasn't more of we should have done this, we should have did that. It was more of, yo, now we got city chip. Like, now we got a couple of weeks off there because we don't take rest. I don't think you guys understand. We practice almost 5 to 6 days out the week.
So for those who don't understand, there's a borough championship and then there's a city championship. So although you lost the borough,
let's go to cities.
You're gearing up for a city run. Talk to me about the regrouping after that. How long did it take you to get over it? Did you ever get over it? Would Coach Kev bring it up? Did he push it to the side?
So I feel like those couple we had a thing a week off, 2 weeks off before city trip started. Those 3-4 practices that week, it was he didn't say nothing about it, but as a team we were still holding on to it. Coach Kev was upset we lost, but he was more of, yo, we lost a chance at Burroughs. We got a greater one at Cities. Let's lock in. Let's do our job. Let's play Eagle basketball. But as a team, we took a personal still, and we were still kind of cold-hearted on this. So practice was more intensified. Like, everybody was upset still. So, like, if I'm going and Trey not catching the ball in post, he going to get fouled. He going to have to dunk on me for me to respect it. So I feel like Taj going at Eric going at Trey going at everybody's going at everybody because now it's a different type of energy. Everybody is more locked in. So this is why I be saying certain times of the year we are more of a dangerous team. After those practice, it was more of we dive on the floor. We're not even having regular practice. We're not even picking up basketball. It's more of you walk in, you stretch, you run, we're taking charges, and we're diving for the basketball. We're playing only defense. So certain practice after that, it was more of turning us into that dog effect. Something that we kind of lack in certain games. And we was tired of lacking that. We was tired of saying, yo, we need to put more energy. So now we are being dogs. We are coming in, and from the get-go, we're going to punch you in your mouth. So those practices was really crazy. I'm not going to lie to you.
I want to fast forward to the semifinal game versus South Shore at Queens College. This is a game where the winner goes to the championship. Now, you said on this podcast that one of the turning points in your season is after you guys lost to South Shore when they came to the Eagle Nest and were victorious. So now a ticket to the big show is on the line. You're playing against South Shore, the team that walked into your gym early in the season and was victorious. Walk me through the mindset. What's the conversations like?
That day of school, you could even ask coach. You could ask anybody you want that goes to Eagle Academy. That day of school, nobody part of the Eagle basketball varsity team talked. I mean, in class.
You ain't raise your hand in class?
I mean, in hallways. Usually, Eagle Academy is different. It's like it's a college experience. So you might walk in. Hey, you might have a little crowd of fans because it's middle school too. So you might walk in during the hallways and you might have Eric group base, a trade group base. Like everybody got shirts on and whatnot. But I mean, nobody talked, not even to each other. The most we might have said is you guys would be eating. That was it. That day, nobody talked. Only person I adapted was my best friend Eli. Everybody else, we looked, we said, shook heads, have a good day. Kept it like we took that game personally because it was
locked in.
It was not that we lost to them. It was when we supposed to play them the next time at their gym. That day we didn't talk at all either. But they, I think, canceled or forfeited when that game because their gym was getting refixed or whatever their excuse was, right? But that day it was far as we gonna play Jeff. We're not overlooking South Shore. Sorry, you're not beating us back to back. You're not beating us in the city chip last year and then beating us in almost a chip again. You can't get that chance back to back, sir. I'm sorry. So we came that game. Eric is more of a leader because usually Eric would talk. That game, it was more if he would stop the game and really control it. And that's when that showed a little.
Hold on. He talked about his former teammate, Eric Acker, who is just signed on at Long Island University. Salute to that young man. Everybody's so proud of him. Out of Sleep City, Star Rights. So you said Eric wasn't one to really talk, but this game was different?
This game was different. Like the real D1 players showed. And I say that because to me it showed because I'm not a person where I treat people differently, but Eric came out on a different type of mindset. Like, he will really pull you to the side. I need you to do this. You do this, I got you with this, and I bet you he's going to do his job. So now Eric is leading us as far as figure out your job for this game, play defenses, lock in. E. Marquise Jones now.
What was it like to see that change from Eric?
It was a wake-up call. Because usually Eric would say, one, two things. So like he'd come to you nicely or not and say it so he don't hurt your feelings. That game, he didn't care about feelings. He was like, yo, y'all gotta lock in because he's a really nice kid. He's a really soft kid when it comes to his teammates. This game, he didn't care. So he came off the start and it was get-go. Trey had a solid performance. That game was regular Trey, blocking shots, running the rebounds, running the floor. But I feel like that game, the big part of that game was E. Marquise Jones. And I don't think he gets a lot of rep for what he does, and I don't think they understand of how much pressure he gets. People don't even know who E. Marquise Jones is because people don't realize when he be playing, but they know that number. They know that number one. They know that guy that's on top of the press because it's like he's really get-go. So Emar that game played like Emar. He was everywhere. He had his hands up playing amazing defense. He was boxing out, rebounding. Any man that's in front of him, he was there. So I know right now you're probably trying to think, who's Emar Keys?
Nah, I know Emar.
He was balling, and it's not even the fact that he was scoring a lot. He was just really effort. Now, Eddie,
he does everything for you guys. Salute to him. X Factor.
That game, Eddie, we know Eddie can shoot, but Eddie was more personal because now it's we gotta realize it's the second time Eddie played South Shore since he got hurt. Because Eddie got hurt in that year before. So I feel like Eddie put me to the side too that game. He's like, AJ, this game, if I'm open, you could pass it, but I'm not looking to score. I'm looking to go get a stop. Because the thing is though, we was kind of small last year. We still probably is small this year, but last year we was kind of small compared to most of the teams he played, especially South Shore.
You said he was looking to get a stop, like he was looking to turn his defense
He wasn't
up?
looking to score. Like, if Eddie's open, we know we got to kick it. Eddie knock it down. But when I say he wasn't looking to score, it was as far as sometimes he like, AJ, if you got to take it, we're going to get it back on defense. Like, he put me to the side personally. Like, and I don't think people understand, Eddie doesn't talk to nobody. Yeah. If it's his team, yes. But even during practice, he doesn't talk. The fact that he put me to the side and he told me, AJ, I need you to lock in, and I'm locking with you as far as defense because we take pride in defense, and South Shore is a great offensive team, offensive rebounding, and their guards.
That's the type of stuff I wanted to hear on this podcast because I don't think a lot of athletes understand like the championship is a journey. And you've mentioned many times that there were turning points. We would just keep going to another level, another level, another level. And here you have Eddie Munyak.
Yes, sir.
Best shooter in the state, you say. But on the biggest day of the year, going up against South Shore for a chance to go to the big dance, he talking about turning his defense up a notch.
Yes, sir.
That's phenomenal, son. That's the type of stuff that give me goosebumps, man.
So that game, I'll always salute. That game, I feel like as a team, we showed up because we had a lot of leaders. Usually, it would be Coach Kev trying to lead off the sideline, and then we have Taj leading on the court or Trey leading. You know what I'm saying? One of our star players leading. That game, everybody was leading. Even people on the bench that barely played or didn't play at all was even leading. Because I feel like I remember a play where it was, I believe, if I'm not sure, I believe it was one of the managers or it was Xavier. It was Xavier that did it. He wasn't playing at the time. So he was still on the bench. He didn't get in the game, I believe, yeah. But he pulled me, Eddie, and Trey to the side. And he's like, yo, y'all know if I get in the game, I'm going to shumble this whole thing. I'm going to really get in the game and be a dog. So he said, let's do this. Y'all get a lead. I play the basketball game. We get a bigger lead, and we just go home with a W. That's before halftime. He didn't play yet. E. Marquez got in. Right before halftime, he said that to us. We got to stop. I got to lay up. I'll break layup, heard you. I come back, play another defense. Right before the buzzer went off, and this is a great picture that we all have in our phones. We got to stop. I looked at Eric Acker. We dunked the basketball. When halftime goes off, nobody's clapping. Nobody's smiling. We dunk, and we walk to the locker room. At that time,
business-like.
It was good job. No, it was a dunk. And we went downstairs to the locker room.
Who caught a dunk?
Eric. And you know Eric is a high fly, so the crowd going crazy because it's a regular thing for Eric to dunk the basketball at a high level. And that when he did it, it was, yes, the crowd's going off because they say we winning, we about to go to the chip, but we see something different. We see, we don't have everything yet. We still got a whole half to play.
How much did you guys win by that day, you know?
Less than 10.
Okay. It was I remember it being a great game. I was there, and I remember, like, now that you mentioned that, there was a level of, like, yo, we here to handle business. This has been a bitter foe for us, the South Shore Vikings. Like, we are really here to do this. And, you saw that play out on the court from all of you guys. I was there watching you, of course. What was your contribution that day? How would you describe it for those that weren't there?
Okay. If I remember that game, I had about 8 rebounds. Mm-hmm. As a guard, I believe I came off the bench that game too. I had 8 rebounds against 6'9" kids. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that. Remember, South Shore has, I don't know if you guys know, but South Shore has a lot of tall players starting, and I'll have a long depth of the bench. Mm-hmm. And it was more of the only way any team can beat us, but especially this team can beat us if they come out and have more energy than us. So we took it personal. So that game, personally, me, I came out and I was running everywhere. I was on the ground for no reason sometimes. Even the ball's already picked up on the ground, or even though there might be 4 players already on the ground, I'm diving on top of it because our goal, our role, our mindset, and our assignment was they are not going to have more energy than us. Mm-hmm. So it was time where it got a little talkative. Everybody talking, smack or not talking. A lot of disrespectful stuff was said during the game. It's normal. That's PSAL, WBH basketball. I don't know you guys know, but it gets real disrespectful during the games. But I was down on the ground. That's normal stuff for me, but my energy and my effort, I feel like that game was more than any I have played in a long time. I was hitting big men mid-air. I was boxing out for our rebounds. Like, rebounders didn't go. Yeah. So I feel like my effort just on the defensive aspect was higher. I wasn't really that game. Usually, I get told a lot. My game is shown off of if I score a lot. And I take it personal. So sometimes I try to lead off.
You take everything personal.
Of course.
Hold on. Let me ask you, does your confidence grow during the game? Did the team's confidence grow during the game? Like, yo, we look in the vaunted South Shore. Because they had just come off 3 chips. Like, they had just come off 3 chips, Ajani. They the talk of the town, and they've been the toast of the town for years. And you looking the bully right in the mouth. Is your confidence as a team and individual like growing as like, yo, we here?
I say no to this because we had confidence out the jump. Now, it might sound cocky. It might sound like, oh, he's talking a lot, or it might sound like he's just speaking. But our confidence, our energy, every game, yes, during the game, it might change. Like, that's how that Jeff game changed. That South Shore game, I could personally say nothing changed. We had confidence out the get-go.
What was the environment in the locker room? You said y'all got the dunk and y'all just walked in there.
When we got back at halftime or after halftime, it was we're not done yet. We got a whole second half to play. The second half kind of went faster than normal than I feel like. But halftime, we went in the locker room, we sat down, we clapping it up. Guys, good job, good work. Cause we got dunk. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's hyped. Like, nobody, even the managers, is not smiling. We just waiting for coach to come back in the room to tell us what does he see that we could fix. And from there, it was the same. So I feel like our confidence, it didn't change. We had confidence from the start. It wasn't like our confidence overgrew. It was more of our confidence stayed because we believed and we knew that we was going to win that game. And we had to win that game. So it was more of we didn't change.
You did win that game. Take me in the locker room. You won that game. You go into the city championship.
Yes, sir.
Okay? A lot of people in that room, they had that experience last year, going to the championship game, but unfortunately they fell short. But this is something new for you and the new members of that team. Talk to me about that dynamic. What's going on in there? What's being said? What's the vibe?
That locker room, it was a get back because y'all beat us in the regular season. So I feel like that locker room experience was a relief because now the biggest part, the championship game, yes, it's a big game, but the next thing that's bigger than that is that game before because you have to. You
got to win it. You got to win it to go to the end. So
it was more as far as we're relief now, and now it's more of we got higher things to do. We have more assets we have to do better. And after coach talked to us about what we got, our break that we have, like I think a day break or a little day to rest our bodies, whatnot. After he left, our team was really like, yo, if we could do this again, we're definitely getting our ring on our fingers. And it was more as far as we're happy, excited, and also still locked into a point. So we're not smiling, we're not laughing, but it's more of we're feel good. It's more of a confident. That right there is a confident boost.
Did you see when I had Coach Kev on the podcast?
So now I seen 2 minutes of it, but
I
didn't really watch
you,
it.
man. Forget you. Let me tell.
Go ahead.
Coming off of last year when you guys won the borough championship, he kind of made it a point to say, yo, I want them to enjoy this moment because this is big for the city. Mm-hmm. You know, and if I had a chance to talk to him again, I would ask, what was it like the second time around? Like,
the difference?
Was it like, yo, we need to go get this effing chip now? You know what I'm saying? So did you guys stop to enjoy punching your ticket to the show, or was it just, yo, chip or bust?
No, we ain't. We enjoyed after the chip. We enjoyed while we were at the chip, but before the chip, we didn't enjoy it because we're playing that team that just beat us off a shot.
Beat you in the Eagle nest. Man, shot over you.
Yeah. But, so yes, it was, we didn't, you know what I'm saying, we was happy, but we wasn't excited to a point where we were smiling and laughing. We came out the locker room, the usual stuff, everybody zapping us, good game. But now we're sitting watching our Eagle brother Bronx play to Jeff because everybody wants to play Eagle versus Eagle.
Nah, nobody wanted that. We wanted to see you play, Jeff.
I'm trying to tell you because you got to realize that same year, Eagle Bronx punched about 20.
Or in the Eagle nest?
At their Eagle nest.
Oh. For the record, ladies and gentlemen, Eagle is like this own education network in the city.
Institution. We use the word institution.
I still don't quite understand it, but there's Eagle Middle Schools, there's Eagle Bronx, there's Eagle everywhere. I don't really get it, but God bless them all.
We are in an institution. We're not academy no more. We're an institution.
So there was an Eagle Bronx, and there's, of course, you guys, Eagle Brooklyn. After you beat South Shore, the other semifinal was being played, which was against Thomas Jefferson and Eagle Bronx. We were sitting next to each other watching that game. What'd you think when Thomas Jefferson was victorious?
I had two separate feelings. Was I more of excited because we playing Jeff? For sure. We have to get back for that little loss. But I was also kind of like, I don't know the word for it. I said the feeling was more of, I already knew it was going to, I knew. It wasn't like I knew Jeff was going to play, but I knew either team was going to play, we going to either punch them or we was going to make we was going to leave a taste in their mouth that they did not want at all.
Man, stop it. You didn't know that. Okay.
I'm trying, like, we sat down, talked about it. You asked me, who do you want to win? And I told you personally, I said, it don't matter who wins because we have, not beef, but we have problems with both teams. We just lost our Eagle. Like, Eagle Academy takes everything as bragging rights. So Bronx beat us that year, and they hold it high. We are on social media. We know certain kids from the Bronx, too. And they're texting us, yo, I just lost by 20. Like, so we heard it almost every day after that loss. So we have problems with both teams. So either way, who we play, they was not finna get the same team they played last time.
You've mentioned that a few times, like, yo, it's personal, it's this and that.
It's personal.
But listen though. I think sometimes that gets played up, like, oh, it's personal, because you guys, no matter where you go in the country, you're going to try to play the best basketball you can play.
For sure.
That's it. That's it. I don't know if there's like any kicked up animosity or something. Like, you're gonna lay it all on the line regardless.
Regardless, yes, but it's you play basketball, it's different.
For the young kids out there who admire you guys, look up to you guys, walk them through that day that you're gonna play in the Barclays. It's Friday. Mm-hmm. From when you're in school to walking in that facility, what's it like?
Only thing changed that day.
Y'all didn't speak to each other that day either, huh?
No, of course not. But the only thing that changed that day was even the school didn't speak to us. They was locked. Even the school was locked. Like, I feel like people understand that it's not even about the sport. It's really the culture of Eagle Academy. Like, these kids think they play basketball too, so they're locked in. Like, yo, they woke up. Y'all lose today, y'all getting hopped. Like, y'all lose. When we see y'all on Monday, you're going to have a problem with us. Like, everybody locked in for this game. So, because everybody taking it personal, too. So, I really feel like that personal word is different than a different experience. But normal stuff.
With the school, is there any way they can make the day a little easier for you, or is it a regular school day?
Regular school day. Like, what do you mean easier?
Like, I'm actually surprised y'all go to school. But, like...
Nah, for sure. Like, Eagle school is amazing. Like, it's fun. Like, if you say you don't like going to school, go to Eagle Academy.
Like, that day, I'm sleeping. I don't care what y'all say. But, no, I get it.
It's a normal day. It's a normal day.
The junior high schools, you see those kids, they think you guys are rock stars.
It was a normal day. Me, Eddie, X, Eli, Gendry Martinez, Taj, and somebody else walked in about 6, 7 o'clock that day. In the morning, got shots up. Before high school workouts in the morning, there would be middle school workouts. Middle school, seen us walk in one by one, and they just packed up.
Yeah.
They said, y'all can have the court for today. Usually it's like they end at 8:30, you know what I'm saying? We got there at 7 o'clock. They just got off.
That's love.
Exactly. So we walked in, we worked out, it was a regular day. Everybody went to first, second period. Third period, we watched film. Fourth period, we watched film. Fifth, sixth, we went to lunch, went out, had food. Seventh period, me, Taj, certain kids went to the weight room, worked out. And it's just regular Eagle day. That's regular Eagle day on a student athlete basis.
What time does the school day end?
On a Friday, we end at 12:54.
Oh, it's a half day?
Every Friday's a half day for Eagle.
I'm not part of the Eagle network. Institution. So you guys just hanging around? Do you take a bus? Did y'all take the train to the Barclays?
Oh, it's Eagle Academy. You took a sprinter. We took a little van to the Barclays game. Gotta get the NBA feeling or whatnot.
What?
So but no, we took a van to the game. It was that van ride. It was quiet. What do you expect? It's a high level game. Everybody playing music. We vibing to the music, shaking our heads, locked in. Now we get out the van. Now it's dead silence. It's like only per token. Only thing you can hear is the traffic driving past us, past the Barclays. If we walk in, we like, yo, where the locker room at? We gotta get changed right now because I think we was there before Jeff got there. So we thinking, hey, if we could get to the gym, get shots real quick before they get their practice, would not be good.
But the girls on the court before you guys play.
So it's Barclays. They got 2-3 gyms in there.
Okay.
So we got there.
I ain't never played on the Barclays floor. I don't know what's going on.
So I'm gonna tell you the experience. We walked in. We looking around. We went to the metal detectors. First thing we see is the second gym. Because when you walk in, it's a little glass room.
Yeah.
Look, you see the second gym right there. So we like, is it possible for us to get on that gym? We walk through. Now we walking through the Barclays. You know what I'm saying? We get to the locker room. It's a locker room experience. It's an NBA locker room. It's almost an NBA locker room. So we walk in. We don't have a locker room personally. Our locker room is like the weight room. We don't have a locker room. Some schools we don't have one. So we walked in. We seen cubbies with our jersey number. We like, I like this feeling.
The jerseys hung up already?
Yeah, the jerseys hung up already.
Who did that?
I don't know. Cash with the ghost. We walked in.
Hold on. That's dope.
It was an NBA. Like we walked in and we locked in. So we expecting our jersey to be in the bag. You know what I'm saying? And we just grabbed our jersey, put it on. We walked in. Our jerseys hung up iron. Underneath our jerseys are our tights. So we had compression shirts. Yeah. We had compression leg sleeves, and then we had 2 extra pair of socks because they know some of us wear double socks during games, right? We got 2 fresh pair of white Nike socks. Now we walk in, we look a little bit deeper into the cubby. We like, yo, why we see a box of shoes right there? We like, we got boxes of shoes? Now everybody laughing, smiling because it's like we was all locked in the whole time, the whole ride, the whole day, and now we get a pair of LeBron 20s and they just came out, so they freshly new. And we was expecting to wear our own shoes.
So y'all was all serious till y'all seen them sneakers and y'all turned to giddy little kids.
What? We see them shoes and we open them like, oh, where's? Now we playing music.
Y'all took pictures of the jerseys hanging and stuff?
Yeah, I had like a couple pictures on my phone.
Yo, hold on. Let me say, that's dope. Now I got to do my investigation. I don't know if Eagle just did that.
I feel like the school that was sponsored by Nike, because I believe the PSAL city chip was sponsored by Nike.
Yes, it is.
Because now when it was going on, when you walked outside of Barclays, that little screen right by the train station, it would have our our picture there. So it was sponsored by Nike. So any school that was also underneath Nike would have shoes. So I believe the South Shore girls team got those, got LeBron 20s. Jeff didn't get them because they're Puma or whatnot, but. We got those, and we felt like it was, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope, man. I think I'm going to ask Coach Kevin. I think the school might have put that extra energy into making sure you had that. To walk into a locker room and see your jersey hanging, that's big-time stuff, son.
If they did, that's the Eagle Academy
that's
experience.
Dope. I got to ask now. Now I want to know.
We walked in, we smiling, we vibing, you know what I'm saying? We watching the South Shore girls game on the TV in the locker room.
But hold on, time out. Can you wear new sneakers on the biggest day of the year?
Now, listen, Coach Kev walked in, and it was straight back to serious. Coach Kev said, what I think this is? Y'all not playing no brand new shoes. Y'all must be crazy. Y'all basketball players. Y'all know how it is when y'all better break them in. All you see is everybody get the shoes, squeeze them together. They be all mashing the shoes, throwing them around because we want to wear their brand new shoes. So some players, like 90% of the team put them on because we just, you know what I'm saying, we just also before the game, we put them on and went to the practice gym. Yes. And while we're in practice gym, we're stretching, shooting around. Everybody gets shots up before the game. So we're working through the shoes. But everybody got the shoes they had last year behind their bench, just in case if they ain't feel right. But Coach had walked in and was like, "Yo, what I think this is? Y'all better play in the same shoes I had earlier. If I do, y'all better start trusting them. Y'all better start mashing them up. We should work them through." So
when you go in the court for warm up, what do you see? What do you hear?
Now,
are you located in family? Like, what's it like? You walking on the Barclays?
Me personally, I don't invite my family to my games.
You one of those kids?
No, it's not one of those kids. As far as I don't invite my family to games because it's like I have other things to worry about. I don't got time to worry. It's I'm a weird kid to a point where, yes, family is everything. But right now,
hold on, Ajani. You're not the only kid I heard say that. And I'm going to tell you, it is an experience for their families also. Yeah. You don't have to tend to them. You can say, yo, Ma, don't wave at me or something. But allow them to share in that experience,
my mother
Ajani.
is different. Like, so I've been playing basketball only 2 years. So every other sport I did, my mom was there. And it was for as I'm my mother's child, so we get both passionate about anything. So my mom got kind of passionate over some games, over passionate. Some things happen. So I stopped inviting my mom to games sometimes, right? Sat down with her, had a conversation. But the game my mom came to in JV varsity basketball year is she'll walk in, not as my mother. She'll walk in, yo, bro, 21 is dog water. Like, who is this kid?
Dog water?
Yo, it's many times kids have not realized that's been my mother. She walked in one time, and we warming up at halftime, right? And she looked. It's our show game that happened. Amazing example. She walked in the game. She sat down. All right. She see me playing. Yo, bro, you can't shoot the rock. What? Man, I shot it. I missed, and she laughed at me. I said, oh, my. Halftime, she moved her seat. Well, not so I can't find her. She moved her seat, and I'm warming up. And all I hear is, y'all boys is trash. I look around, trying to figure out. The girls looking around too, because these girls at the game, and they point. I said, "Yo, that's my mom, coach. Don't even worry about it." So she started wilding. So I'm saying, when it comes to games, if my mom's at the game, she not on my side.
I copy.
She said, "I love you, have a great game," but when she get there, she's the other team. So, the experience of walking in, warming up on the Barclays court was different only because, remember, we play on the Barclays court sometimes regular season. Right, yeah. So we might have a little Eagle Fest where we play against all the Eagles and we play on the Barclays court. But it was different because it's new gear. It's like,
What's new gear? You had New Jersey on it?
Everything was new. Everything was almost.
That was a brand new jersey?
The jersey we wear was regular season jersey, but it was like, it felt brand new. Okay. It felt different. The crowd was different because we're used to having Eagle all around us. Mm-hmm. We got Eagle left and Jefferson right, and we got cheerleaders. This warming up, it was different because it was everybody upset that we missed. If we missed a shot, everybody upset. And we're locked in.
Side note, where do your cheerleaders come from if your school's all boys?
Twills. We have since we're all boys, we have a sister school called Twills.
Okay,
it's called the Young Women Leadership not charter school, the Young Women Leadership School. Right. All right. My sister went there personally. So yeah, it's an all-girls school. So that's our sister school, and we're the brother school. So that's our cheerleaders, and the experience was bright lights. You know what I'm saying? It's Barclays, so it was like big time, but it was more of like, it felt when Coach Krabs told us to enjoy the moment. Those was one of the few times we had to enjoy the moment, even if we win or lose. We're playing on a bright court. We're playing where we want to play at. We're playing on. Remember, on the court is still the Nets logo. Yeah. So because the Nets just played it the day before. Yeah. So it's like, this is where we want to be at. This is our dream, and we're
that makes me happy. That makes me happy because it is a game. It's high stakes. You want to win, but that was a special moment. Yeah. And being a Brooklynite, being a fan of a lot of you young men, you, Ag, man, Connor, Poppy, it's like it felt like it was ours. Even though it's this big NBA building and who knows who really runs this place, it felt like, yo, that was us, especially like Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I had great fun watching you there. Now I want to go ahead.
That's why I feel like I said at the semifinals.
It was a special moment.
It's also a special moment. That's why I feel like at that semifinals game, the only reason why they also want us Jeff to play because it's two Brooklyn teams.
Oh yeah.
Usually it's like a Bronx and Brooklyn team. They wanted both Brooklyn teams at that time. So that moment of, even though we're against each other, even though right now we want our team to win, we're still happy for our kids because it's two Brooklyn teams, two AA high-level Brooklyn teams playing basketball in the Brooklyn Center.
Can we get to the smoke now?
Smoke now. Let's start up.
Listen.
I love this game, man. I love this game.
You was talking about, yo, we taking this personal, that personal, whoever we go up against, they gonna have to feel it like it's Yo, bro, y'all was down 9 points with 2 minutes left.
Did you see that?
Ajani.
Did you see last year?
What? Thomas Jefferson dictated that whole game.
Okay.
You down big. I think it's 9 with like 3 minutes so left. Taj, your primary ball handler, fouls out. There's no way you think you're going to win that game. No way. Do not lie to these people. in these cameras. There's no way you thought Eagle was going to win that game.
I'm looking at the camera for this one. We was going to win that game. Like, because you got to understand, Taj came out the game upset. We was upset. We upset too because he fought out because he's, as you said, he's our primary ball handler. But thing is, though, our bench is deep. When I say it's deep, as far as anybody can come out the bench and score 20.
But Ajani, there was nothing that
Nothing changed.
Listen, though, there was nothing in that game that says, hey, we have what it takes to come back.
Are you crazy?
I'm going to say this. Listen, you guys were a bigger team. You guys were a more experienced team. Mm-hmm. Certified D1 signees on the...
For sure.
Jeff was leading that game most of the game. They seemed to be in control most of that game. Is that fair?
You say that, go ahead.
Okay, so what were you guys leaning on that says, yo, we going to be able to pull this out?
Practice. Yeah, we got... And it might seem like a weird answer, but the way you practice, the way you play. Mm-hmm. We practice for these certain... Like, we practice for these ways. We practice... Legit, that's why I say that game was a turning moment because those practices... Certain times...
Which game? Losing the show. All the lessons you saw. Okay,
every game before that was a turning moment because the practice before, it was the last 30 minutes of practice, coaches say, yo, I'll shoot the free throw. If I make it, y'all down 5. Mm-hmm. If I miss, y'all down 4. Y'all got 30 seconds with a timeout left. Figure it out. So he'll leave us there, and we will come down, score a timeout. While we playing against our teammates. So it was coach got us ready for anything. That time, that experience of us being down with our fouls, we practiced with that. We had practice when it was Taj defending us and we had the bench playing in the game, scoring the basketball. Can't stop timeout. So it was really, coach prepared us for anything happen. Coach prepared us for if we was up 30 and we had to run the clock out. Coach prepared us if we was in overtime.
What did coach say after Taj fouled out?
Coach ain't say nothing. Coach was still on the game. Coach let your next up. Because you got to realize everybody has a role. So if somebody messes up, if somebody fouls out, it's the next man up. If, God forbid, if I got injured or somebody else got injured like Taj had played the whole half of the season. Coach wasn't worried about it. Coach let your next man up.
All right, let me give you my story.
Go ahead. Tell me what you feel.
You guys were down 9. Mm-hmm. Salute to the big dog, Coach Bud. I felt he should have called off the dogs. Mm-hmm. I felt they didn't even have to score to win that game. But I felt that they were enjoying putting on a display for the city. True. They was in y'all ass. They was pushing y'all to the brink. Mm-hmm. You had these 3 little guards running around doing everything. And I think he was enjoying that.
You feel like?
And he didn't want to, again, call off the dogs. Mm-hmm. I think had he done that, they win that game. But to your credit, you guys took advantage of your opportunities. You tied the game. Mm-hmm. Tied the game.
For sure.
And then Jeff scores. Connor. Because, again, they seem to be in cruise control. They seem to be able to do what they wanted to do all night. So Connor scores. Mm-hmm. So he's like, as fans, okay, Eagle fought back, but the team that should have won this game is going to end up winning it. Mm-hmm. So Connor scores. They go up 2. How much time is left? Seconds.
3.6.
3.6 seconds. I'll let you tell the people. What happened after that?
They scored. We called timeout. We all look at Eddie. So I put this on everybody, on a mirror that I love in my house from everybody that passed away. We all looked at Eddie. We down 2. We needed, a 3. So we already knew, because we know the plays like the back of our hands. We know the playbook in our head. We all look at each other, run it. Coach didn't have to say a word to us all. We went after the time when we called timeout. We went to the huddle. He said, "Y'all know what play we running. Y'all know what to do. Yo, Eddie, if this is not open, you do this. If Trey, if this is not open, you do this."
Really?
It was not far as we was scared. It was we practiced this for these moments.
So y'all were going for the win the whole time.
We know what play we're running.
You're down 2.
Actually, we wasn't even going for the win. We was going for the tie. Right. But all of our plays, there's so many options for everybody to score. That's why I say it doesn't matter who is fouled out. It doesn't matter who is injured. We have a team where anybody come off the bench and do that job.
Walk us through the play. You guys walk him in on the court.
I can't tell you to play, but
you don't have to tell me to play. Walk me through the sequence. Who inbounded it? Where are you? Where's Eddie?
So Eddie is on the post, on the right post. Trey is on the left post.
Don't tell us to play for real.
I'm not going to. I can't do that. I'm on contract. But so X inbounds the ball. The plays for Trey. You know what I'm saying? They watch film too. So what they did was they put their 7-foot monster to guard Trey. So
I don't think he's 7 feet, but go ahead.
He's huge. That boy is big. But nonetheless, they put him in the game thinking the plays for Trey. Because Trey, even though Trey was hurt most of the game, he was still balling out. I don't think people understand that. That's the dog mentality of Trey Sean. He was hurt that whole game. He really bugged out. So they put him in the game to guard Trey, whatnot. And Eddie come off his screen off of Trey. Now, that screen was for Eddie to set the screen for Trey. But it didn't work like that, and we had our second option. It was either Eddie gets it or I gets in the other corner because I'm still on the post, and all my job is to do is to go to the corner. While I'm in the corner, that man that's guarding me was still guarding doubly on Trey. So I feel like I was open too. But you got to find the best shooter we have. Eddie came off the screen. He was left wide open. And you got to realize, if we know who the ball going to, you better close out. And Eddie knocked it down. But the thing is, though, people feel like it was a lucky shot. We've run the same play the whole year.
Eddie knocks it down and hits quite possibly the biggest shot in PSAL history. Yes. He hits a 3 with no time left on the clock. You guys win.
For sure.
1 point game, championship in your hand. Pandemonium. What was it like? What's the first thing that goes through your head? What do you do when that ball goes through the net?
I talk with Eddie. Like everybody keep talking to me to this day about from last year. They say, "Yo, God," even his father, because father came to me. I think during the season too. And because we got the same birthday, so we're kind of twins. But I was the first person to Eddie. Like the picture shows it. They're like, "Yo, how Eddie got this so quick?" Yo, I ran and tagged with Eddie Munyak because I felt relief. That game I felt relief because now it's like we worked to what our goal that we set for ourselves that season. We got to it through everything, through thick and thin, through every little problem we had that year. We got to our goal. So I won. I know there's a bunch of people behind me winning too. I tell you, Eddie, we all happy, laughing, crying on the court. Now we get back. Everybody settle down. We get back to the bench. I'm a man where if I shed tears, it's like for a real moment. I don't really cry that much. I cry for real big things that hurt me differently. I'm on the bench. We go to the crowd. We dap them because our crowd is right behind our bench. So we dap in the crowd, half five of our staff members, our teachers. You know what I'm saying? And we're just waiting. It got me. PSAL champions. We just waiting to hear that sound. While that's going on, you see Eric, Charge, Trey hugging. You see me, X on the bench, just like, yo, we did our role. We came dogs. He came because you remember X came in the game and he changed the game too.
Give me X full name.
Xavier. Ooh, it's not Francis. What's Xavier's last name?
All right, Xavier, we got it.
I apologize, X. But Xavier walked in and that's when we was down 9 for Taj. Mm-hmm. X came in the game and changed it. X came in the game, played top of the key. Because I believe Emar had like 5 fouls, or he fouled out. Emar fouled out 2 that game. So I was in place for Emar, and X was in the role for Taj. X came in the game.
Hold on, tell me about this on the bench. You balling, you crying. What's the emotions, man?
Oh, boy, it's hot. What do you expect? We just won the championship. It's like I can't. It's a feeling you can't describe.
Where does your mind go? What are you thinking about?
My mindset is.
What are you thinking about?
Going home, finally be able to take a nap. I'm not glad to, because we don't rest.
Yeah,
I was like, I could go home. I don't got school tomorrow. I could really sleep inside it. I could really I don't have to wake up and be like, yeah, I got to work out in the morning. Let's go. Now I can really just sit back and release my mind. But after we got the trophy, we went back to the locker room. We had fun. You know what I'm saying? Did a little NBA routines, threw water and coach. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Took pictures and whatnot. Got home, relaxed.
Did you tell your mom you won a championship?
My mom she was there, but
you let her show up to that game.
She was there. She was bugging, but nah, it wasn't. She was more of. So what's the next step, AJ? My mom is so.
Mom's is with the.
Mom is like mom. When it comes to me playing basketball, she's not really. She's a sports person, but she's not on the. She's Caribbean, so she don't really do basketball.
Where from?
Like that. Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay. Hold on though. Do you remember your first moment alone after winning a championship?
Alone?
Like after the pandemonium and people cheering and yelling and kissing and crying.
Yeah.
Like that moment you were alone in your bed and you looking at the ceiling, whatever. Like I
didn't get home till 12. The game ended at 9.
That makes sense.
My mother put me back on the track. Like, my mom is a dangerous woman.
You ran the track that night?
We went to Wingate Park. I'm really built from Wingate. We went back to Wingate, and nobody was outside. The lights are still on, but you know how Wingate is. Everybody's outside. I'm expecting there to be runs. I'm expecting old heads shooting basketball. I get there. I'm thinking we going home. Mom driving past. I got food in the side. I got Pizza Hut. I'm cooling right now. I'm ready to sleep. Mom like, yo, hey, you got your shoes? I'm like, yeah, they sold my feet. Man, we going to track, cuz. I'm like, track. I'm like, Mom, why you just won? Like, so I get home to 12 because we got to track about like 10:30. We trudged out, had my pants on, had my shoes on. We ran around for about, I think I ran like 2.5 miles.
That's dope though.
Yeah, so it's like mom pushes, when I need help, when mom feels like, even though we did our job, she wants me to do more, and she wants me to have a little extra kick to it. Yeah. She won't force me, but she'll motivate me to do certain things.
Copy. So, well, that weekend, that was a Friday night. Then you go through the weekend. Sunday, yeah. What's the social media like? What's the group chat like? Is up.
Eddie Moon Yak. It was the social media highlight for a month.
Yeah.
Cause we're on Instagram. We're scrolling. Eddie's on PSAL. Eddie's on Eagle. Eddie's on Hoop. Eddie's on Nike. Eddie's on everywhere for that one shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't understand, like, he released the shot, the buzzer went off, and it goes in. Game over. It's a walk-off basketball shot. Mm-hmm. Walk-off. You don't really get that in basketball off.
We was more happy that it happened that way because they hit that same shot against us. Mm. So we was more happy because that same shot y'all beat us with, we gonna beat y'all with the same shot, and we did it. So social media went crazy. It went wild. Everybody posting it. Like I believe my Instagram is still Eddie. Like my
your thumbnail is your teammate.
It's still Eddie Muyak. So it's that after that shot, it was social media posting about Eddie. Mm-hmm. The newspaper is showing. We don't read as kids. Our generation don't read the newspaper. Mm-hmm. Next, you know. I see the newspaper pop up on IG, and I go try to look for a newspaper. I find it. I still have it in my house to this day. So social media went crazy over the shot, went crazy over Eagle Academy winning. Back to back went Burroughs and Cities next year. So social media was, you know what I'm saying, it was what we expected.
What was it like walking into school on Monday morning?
Monday morning, the experience was the same. The level of I'll say support was different. I walked in 7:00 again, 6:00 with Eddie, me, X, Eli. Get shots up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Same shoes we just wore on Friday. We in the gym still in the morning time, getting shots up, working out, and then just walking through the school. You see your middle school brothers, they crying too. They're like, I can't believe I won again. Where's Eddie at? Yeah, Eddie got a lot of fans from that one shot. Yeah. So it was more of, we had a promise to our school, to our younger brothers, that we was going to win this game. Mm-hmm. It's not just for us. It's for everybody that plays for the game of basketball, that goes to Eagle, and that supports us. They supported us the whole year.
I saw a clip. I think it was for Mr. Haggins.
Mm-hmm.
It was your principal, Mr. Meade. He was in like the cafeteria, and he had the trophy. Well, I think it's like a plaque or something. And he's walking around. He's proud. And I forget what he said, but essentially he's telling to all the other kids like, yo, this is the standard around here. This is what we do as Eagle.
Ever since then, the standard of Eagle Academy has changed highly. Because it's like now, even the kids that don't play basketball, even the kids that do play basketball, now they're holding up to different standards. Now, kids, you see kids going to class. You see those kids that, you know, there's a little 1 or 2 kids that don't really go to school that might just chill in the hallway. So you see these kids, they see us. I got you. I'm going to class for you guys.
What's it feel like to have that impact on the school? Now, that transcends just sport. This is Mr. Me was not saying, yo, this is what we do in basketball. No, this is the standard.
For Eagle.
Hard work, excellence, and achieving at the highest level. What's that feel like to have that impact on a whole campus?
It was more of like that big brother sense. Mm-hmm. We're what's the word? We're upperclassmen. Mm-hmm. So as upperclassmen, as varsity basketball, as high schoolers, we are being looked at by a lot of people, not just from the outside, but also our own younger brothers. So it felt amazing because I'm a kid where I'm the youngest. I only have straight females as sisters. And it's more of like I feel a sense of being a big brother. And now that I see that I can impact people just at the game of basketball, imagine how much people I can impact more just being me. So I felt like a lot of kids locked in after that game. A lot of kids seeing what Eagle could produce, see what Eagle could do, see how far Eagle could achieve, because now they want to do what we do. They want to become. I want to play Eagle varsity basketball so I could win too and be like Eric Akron and be like this guy. And it's like a proud sense. I don't have kids, and I feel like a proud father in that sense, because now it's like these same kids that get in trouble one time, these same kids that, you know what I'm saying, being a regular kid is not going to be you. That will always be a great feeling in some sense of, because it's different.
And that's one of the reasons I love talking to the young people like yourself, because young athletes, they hear us coach talk, goes one in one ear out the other. But I think it resonates more when they see it from one of their peers. You know, and one of the amazing things about what we discussed here is that you talk about the sacrifices. The Monday morning after winning the championship, you're in the gym shooting at 6 a.m.
We didn't have practice that day, but we still definitely in that gym.
And sometimes I think in the social media generation, people just see all the successes. They don't always see the pain that goes into this. That's part of the journey too. And that's something I want to document. You know what I'm saying? And having the opportunity to know you just a little bit, I understand and I know the price that you've paid. And that's what I wanted to bring to light in this podcast. Transitioning, after you win the city championship, it's on to the state.
Correct.
You guys made it to the championship game?
No. Now, this is where I feel like we felt too comfortable. We felt too like we didn't have that to put in our shoulder that much.
I was going to ask you that. What was it like pivoting after winning the city championship in dramatic fashion, and now have to pivot and go play in the state? And what I understand about the state is played in Hicksville, USA, wherever it is. It's not the stage that you just finished playing in. So what's it like to try to gear for that? You say you felt like you guys may have been too comfortable, that chip wasn't there. Talk to me.
So after the championship game, we were practicing and whatnot for the state. Trey is hurt. Trey is out for the rest of the season because she played on a fractured ankle and a fractured foot. So that's
fractured, man.
Broken. I mean, like, he can't get out. Like, Trey lives in Jersey. He travels from Jersey to come to Eagle in Brooklyn. That's about an hour and 20-minute train ride because he's not driving. He's taking a train. So during that championship, that city chip, he's more than, I think, 3 quarters he's playing on a broken foot.
Okay.
He fractured in the first quarter, so I'm trying to tell he's a different dog because coach trying to take him out one time. He said, "Nah, I'm good at playing ball." With a fractured foot, fractured ankle. So
you went to the States without one of your big dogs?
With the biggest dog. The man that got MVP. With the biggest dog. So now it's like, who's next up? That's really what we have to still go to war. We still have to fight with the same people we have. We get there to the hotel and whatnot. We see all the teams there, except for certain teams. We seen the South Shore girls team, the Transit Tech, and that's it. So they put only the Brooklyn schools in a hotel. So we won't see our opponents. So we won't see Luha, we won't see Steppenach, somewhere else. So we get to the hotel the first night. We got Panera. They had Panera set up ready in the hotel. I feel like I come from trenches. I never had Panera before. That's my first time ever even having Panera bread, Panera food in general. So I feel like, yes, we won. We deserve to be treated like kings, but we got another agenda to go to. So I don't feel like we should be even. I swear to
you wanted them to give you some crown fry?
Yo, we came in with our own food. We had soul food. We had fried chicken, mac and cheese, and collard greens. Yo, bro. And we walk in, there's Panera right there, yo. I'm like, it's a great feeling to feel like you're being treated highly, but we got stuff to do tomorrow.
You feel like that made you soft? That cheddar and broccoli soup made you soft?
We get to the hotel, everybody's so awake, and I'm like, yo, bro, we just came up with a little calm 3-4 hour bus ride. Y'all should be asleep. Yeah. So we get in the hotel, meeting kids, you know what I'm saying? Still have high energy. Everybody walking around the hotel like, oh my, they have a pool, they have a gym.
Yeah.
Some kids in the other hotel room chilling because now you got to realize even though we don't play in the same division, we still got friends in Transit Tech. We still got friends in South Shore. We still have associates that people we talk to on other teams. So everybody is talking like our game. So everybody just having a conversation about their game they played in the Barclays or wherever they played for the championship game. So we fall asleep. The next day pop up. It felt like we was. I don't think we had the game after that. We was chilling that day. Our team was more smiley.
It's new for you guys. It's new. You see how we talked about y'all won the borough championship the year before, and then they went to the city championship. They fell short. And now this year, when you guys come back and you go to the city championship again, the mentality is different. Like, yo, we not just happy to be here. We here to win.
For sure.
So that state championship experience might have been like,
it's different.
Yeah.
It's the first. That's the first time. It's the first time I even got that far in basketball.
But now, as a returning senior, if you guys find yourself in that position again.
When we find ourselves back in that position again.
All right, you can say that. I can't. You can make sure that doesn't happen again. Like, listen, guys, we've been here before. Grab you some freaking Panera rolls, and we going upstairs. We going to sleep, and we going to prepare for this game. What team did you guys play?
We played Stepinac.
Play Stepinac. Okay. Moving into the summer, what's it like walking around the city as a champion? Did you feel different energy, a different level of it? What's it like?
The first couple of days, it felt good. I'm walking around. You go to Eagle Academy? Yes, I go to Eagle Academy. Won, yes. But I'm so upset we lost to Stepinac. We lost to a highly rated team by 3 with no big. How high? Like, I don't say this a lot. I might sound cocky. I might sound really hurtful here, but they should never win that game.
Ain't nothing wrong with saying that.
And personally, I really feel because we didn't play the best. But it was nothing like they did that surprised us.
Right.
We didn't have a big to support our game.
Right.
Even though we run probably 4 or 5 guards sometimes, but
bro, that's a big piece. I didn't know you guys went up there without him. That's a Division I player.
That's 10, 12 rebounds we don't have. That's an extra 20 points we don't have.
Yeah.
So the fact that we only lost by 3 to a team that's supposed to be highly ranked with 2 nationally ranked players, they could be tough. They could be nationally ranked. I'm from the bottom. You can have be number 1 ranked.
This is why we play the game.
You got to play me. So, people was already giving Boogie Flan his little praise. They gonna sweep that Brooklyn team. They gonna kill that Brooklyn team because he's nationally ranked. The team is tough. Man, I feel like.
How'd you play in that game?
I played okay. That's why I feel like as a team, as an individually, we didn't play our best. That's why I feel like if we compare that game to our city chip game, we was happy. We was content with the city champ, but I wasn't content that we lost the state game. I played okay.
What's the best game you played throughout this high school season?
South Shore. At home. That we lost.
How many points you have?
21.
Okay.
Had 2 blocks. It's not even about my points. I feel like you could watch back the film. That second half, I feel like the play that really turned me over was... Actually, no. I hit a 3. That's the thing. The same video I always post. I hit a 3. We come back on defense. I play defense. I get a snatch block, throw it off his body, so our ball again. Come down, hit another 3. Then we get a stop. Inbound the ball, come down, hit another 3. Like, you got to, like, that all elite, like, our momentum started off from defense. And that's what coach be trying to tell us is that it's not about how much points we score. It's about what can you contribute to the team. Mm-hmm. That game, Trayshawn is, 6'6"? He took about 3-4 charges. He's not supposed to be go block the basketball. He's taking charges. So the fact that everybody's locked in to a point where we know where our role is and we know what we always do and we did it, that for me personally, that's my best game.
How would you describe the summer you've had? I seen you holding a few championship trophies here and there. Mm. You was playing for my man Dread Ice and Dunkers. You guys won that championship?
For sure.
Where else did you win?
Foster Park, I won.
Yeah, Foster Park.
I won some comm tournaments in
Harlem. How would you describe the summer you had? Because I would assume that as a young man and an athlete, the championship did a lot for your confidence. Like you transformed to some degree, and you go to another level. Mm. And when you think about the pieces that have moved on from Eagle, Eric Acker, Trey Shep. There's new opportunities out there for you.
For sure.
So talk to me about this summer you had.
Summertime, I felt like it was all right. It was probably one of the best summers I had. Not even including basketball, because I played basketball this season, but I also had a job, and that's why people don't understand. Like this year, I really had a full-time job, a 9 to 5, and I played basketball at the end of the day. So for basketball in general, it was everybody that I played at now they have a chance to be a former champion. So it doesn't matter what. It could be a small tournament, a small game. They're coming after my head.
You felt that you had that bullseye on you this summer?
Oh, my. I have been tried to dunked on 6 times in the first quarter one time. I was playing in Harlem. I was being – I had a whole target on my back because the name I rep, everywhere I go, I have something that's Eagle. A backpack, shoes, hoodie, pants. Something that says Eagle Academy. So as far as anywhere I go play basketball, I'm going to have a target. I'm a former champion. So this is why Coach Kev tells us, you guys just won now. It's not – you guys are not – the hunters, y'all be hunted. So now people are coming after you, even when it's a little small game. They're like, that's the thing that won. We just beat them. We just beat one of their players. Like,
oh yeah,
social media was going crazy during the summertime. Me, my best friend, and some of our players, some of our friends, we go play basketball anywhere. So we probably go Brooklyn Bridge Park, and one day we were just chilling on playing basketball, and we scroll on Instagram and Snapchat. We clicking through. We see a picture of us saying, I'm going to see these guys in the season as one post. Another post is, because we just having fun. It's a regular hot day. We dunking. We just doing regular stuff. We're missing dunks. We're saying playing regular basketball. And they said, these the winners. We just beat these 3v3. We just beat them 21-18, 21-9. And like, yo. From then, we was like, we playing park basketball outside.
Yeah.
Guys. Ain't no ref fair. We are just playing basketball. And from there on, I really took what Coach Kev said. We're being hunted. This whole summertime, I was being hunted. Like, It doesn't matter what tournament I played in. They came after us.
What you kids call it? Clout. They
Clout
trying to get their clout up off you, man.
Bro, I can't be
You got the crown, bro. You got the crown.
Again, I didn't feel like we had the crown because we lost a step in that Kansas State.
And that's something else I would ask Coach Kev, because in college, he was the player of the year for his conference in his junior year. And then coming back, I was going to ask him, yo, Coach, like, did you notice that you was a marked man after that? You know, people say, yo, I got one up on the player of the year. People going to say, yo, I got one up on the champions. For the kids, I could only imagine what that is like, having to carry that each and every day. But, yeah, man, you got to be careful out here. They coming for you. They coming for you. But basketball's about getting better.
For sure. So I loved it because it made people come outside and really put in that extra work because they wouldn't beat us, and they came to us and challenged us. So sometimes I played amazing. Like, people understand, yes, maybe the tournaments I played in, it wasn't that big of a tournament, but the kids that played in those tournaments had their chip on their shoulder to come beat Eagle Academy prospects. So this summertime was a great experience sometimes.
What would you say have been your greatest areas of improvement this summer?
Greatest improvement this summer has been me learning the game. And after learning the game, it probably right behind it, it'll become my conditioning. My mom had me running all summer this year. But learning the game, because after I won that championship, every coach I played for has sat me down and told me, hey, not every, but most of the coaches sat me down. I watched that game. You're a great player, you're a great role player. Now, let's create that same moments in those games in PSAL and these same summer games. So there was a coach I played for in Harlem in a tournament. We was up about 15. So he sat me down for the whole quarter, for like whole half or not. He said, we're going to give them a win. We're going to give them a close game. So they came back. They was up 5 with, I believe, 2:13 left. So these coaches I'm playing for now, it might be a smaller tournament, but they're trying to get me ready too. So they're creating PSAL moments in small tournament games. So they're making me mentally think and work during games. So sometimes it's not about me scoring. There's been games where sometimes I had won by 12, 30, but I only had 5 points.
Getting a better understanding of the game, situation, speed, similar to how Coach Kev talked to you after, what was that South Shore game?
That South Shore game, yep.
Yeah, that's getting better also. I think sometimes people think getting better, I'm going to improve my jump shot. The best shooters in the world are going to shoot 40%, right? understanding situations, being able to do a move instead of 5 dribbles, doing it in 2 dribbles. You know what I'm saying?
Kick it out. You don't.
Yeah, understanding where the other 9 people are on the court is a way of getting better to understanding their positioning and their roles. All of that contributes, man, to being a great basketball player. When Coach Kev's talk about what he's expecting from you senior year, what are some of the things he tells you?
Nothing different from last year. He said,
Dog.
The only thing that's different he told me is I'm always vocal. That's one thing that stands out for me than other kids. I might not have the skill as other kids. I might not be as talented, but I'm definitely more of a leader. I'm definitely more of a dog. So he said, last year was a great season. This year, for you personally, everybody needs to get their handles tightened up. I definitely do after coming off my left wrist injury. So I need to be able to become more of a guard and more of like a small forward, more of a 3. He wants me to work on that. So since he told me that, I've took it personal. I take everything personal. So handling, he needs me to get better at handling the ball. He needs to feel confident in me, bring up the ball sometimes when our guards are injured, when our guards are sent down. But more of, we got new players on this team. You've been in the system about 3 years now, because JV, same system, same system. So he said, you've been here for about 3 years. So I need you to lead these new kids, even though they might be a senior like you, they might be starting or not starting like you. I need you to lead, even from the bench.
That's something I really want to go over with you. We've seen Eagle throughout the summer, versions of what we anticipate Eagle is going to be in the PSAL season. Got some new faces, sure. Right? I'm not calling any names. Some talented people. But Eagle basketball is different, right? So you have talented individuals that are coming from other places. Whose job is it to show them the Eagle way?
The returners, the people that's been there. For example, let's say even though X played 1 year varsity, X been here for about 2 years. So even though X might not start, even though X might not play as much, it's still his job. So the new kid walked in, the first thing they do is they bring, because we work out in the mornings when they come to school, the first thing they do for the new players is they bring those new players to the team. And now it's our job that's here as brothers, as teammates, to lead them, to guide them, and to show them what the culture is.
What's that transition been like?
They adapt. They love it. Like, I'm not gonna say no name because you gotta wait for the season to start. But our new bigs, they love it. Like, cause Eagle have houses. Eagle, you know how you have homeroom and whatnot. Yeah. We have house. I'm part of the Ash house. I'm saying Arthur Ash. I have one of my teammates in that team on that house. So it's like he's with me almost 24/7. So he's trying to learn, and he's learn what to do in practice, what not to do in practice, what to do outside of class, because we are held to a high standard because we're on the team.
One of those guys came from a historic program. These kids play basketball, but again, Eagle is different. What do they say is different about some of their other experiences now being a part of Eagle?
He always tells us this during the class or during school. We got practice today. Bro, we really got practice today again. Yes, we got practice. We practice 6 days a week. We got practice again. We got practice, bro. Like,
where they came from, they weren't practicing like that.
It's not even about the amount of time we practice. It's the intensity of practice. Like, that first day we practice, I'm not gonna lie to you, ever since then my leg's been sore. And it wasn't like we was working out, because I work on my own, but it wasn't like we was working out doing weights. We just run up and down. We did conditioning. We did 17. Like, they're not used to that. The intensity of like practice, even when Coach Kevin's not there sometimes, or he has to do some personal stuff. If it might be an assistant coach, it might be KK, it might be maybe an assistant principal. The intensity of practice will always be the same. Yeah. So they walk in and it's like, yo,
we do this every day.
Yeah, I'm like, y'all sure you can do that? Y'all get tired. We tired, but we can't. We have to work. Yeah. So legit, we have a kid that came from another school too. He's like, so what do you guys do on the weekends? No, we live here. Yeah. Like Saturday nights, like not Saturday nights, from 3 to 6, we have like workouts. If you want to come, it's open. You don't have to come, but if you want to, you can. And then from 6 to like 8, 9, we have open runs. That's Eagle.
Saturday?
Sunday, like right now, today's Sunday. Right now, I'm probably go to school. I'm probably go home, clean, and then go to school. The gym is always open. When I say the gym's always open, if you're part of the school, if you're part of the team, and you go to Eagle Academy, even though the school is not in session, you could go. As long as you told you there with, as long as like a coach there with you, you could text Coach Kev, yo, can I get some working at 2 o'clock? All right, meet you there.
I'm fascinated by Eagle. I always joke about it being like a cult and everything, but I am very fascinated by what goes on there. It's an all-boys school. It seems to be an all majority male staff, majority men of color, and it seems like a factory that just produces out upstanding young men. And it reminds me of a time when I went to Boys and Girls under a principal named Dr. Frank Mickens, who like is public school, but he had us wearing shirts and ties. Like it was about discipline. And I think that culture can give your team an advantage. Because in a lot of schools, the basketball team kind of sets the culture for the school, and that can be taxing. But if you have it from a top-down approach from Mr. Mead on down, that can really help you guys, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that discipline, that toughness that Coach Kev is trying to instill is being instilled in you guys all day.
I feel like the discipline that Eagle Academy has, it's some schools, because people from outside school might think like, I could never go to old boys school, or I could never wear a uniform, or I could never practice every day. Yo, you don't want to get better. That's not my problem. Like our discipline is different. We love our uniform because it's like this. We get stuff. Even if you're not part of the team, you still get Nike gear.
Nice.
And our shirt and tie is not just a shirt and tie. It means a different value to every grade, to every person. So our tie is not a regular tie. You can't just go to Cookies and go buy an Eagle tie. You have to come to Eagle Academy and buy that tie. And it's that gold tie, when you have it on and you're a senior, it's your last year, it hits totally different.
Oh, you about to get a gold tie, son?
I have a gold tie.
The ties are specific to each grade?
It's different color, different design. So not even 9th grade, 6th grade, it's a gray tie with blue stripes, right? So it's mostly gray. So 6th grade, you're supposed to learn how to tie a tie. So we have this thing called Summer Bridge. So if you apply for Eagle, you get accepted to Eagle. In 6th grade, 7th grade, or in middle school, you go to Summer Bridge that year. Summer Bridge is make or break. You're gonna go there and you're gonna come back home crying because it's men trying to create young men into men. So they're screaming at you. They're making you learn. You don't want to listen. You're going to hear you can't go home because you already applied for. You can't just go home. You're going to deal with their voice. And part of learning from Summer Bridge is 3 things. I remember to this day. It's you learn the 5 pillars, which we take. Our school is based on 5 pillars, right?
What's the pillars?
You don't call me out like that. 5 pillars. You have resistance.
He don't know. No,
I've been here for 7 years. It's a long time. You have resistance, right? Resilient, right? You have confidence, right? Those 2 ones we use on a daily basis, right? Now, these other 3 I don't use personally. You know what I'm saying? As an Eagle Scholar, you probably use all 5 without knowing. So I'm saying I don't remember them because it's like second nature now.
Yeah.
So it's the 5 pillars you learn. You learn about how to tie a tie. Because most young men, we never taught that. And I feel like Eagle Academy, Mr. Mead, our principal, and every other Eagle, we take pride in our ties. So
let me say something about them ties. To all of you basketball coaches out there who say, yeah, I'm trying to prepare my son for the next level. I'm trying to prepare my kids. If you got young men on your team and they don't know how to tie a tie, how are you preparing them for the next level? How are you preparing them for a job interview?
Yo,
okay.
They say that at Summer. That's how funny it is. They say that
bro, it's real.
They say like you walk in and you have class in the summertime. Like you might have failed class, but you have class. So you walk in the class. That's what I remember. You walk in the class and they're talking to you or not, right? They talking to you about classes you might have. They're showing you how schedule works. They're showing you how Eagle works. They're showing you what time's class ends, and they tell you what bells are what. Because our bell system is not no regular. You have songs playing. So you might have Ice Cube in the first period, and you might have Snoop Dogg second period. Then the third period you might have Lauryn Hill. So our bell is not no regular bell. So they show you the culture on paper what it is, and then the next couple hours or not, They teach you how to tie a tie. So you might be tying a tie a million times during summertime, summer bridge. And for kids that didn't go to summer bridge, or even for kids that did, that senior class of that year when you join Eagle, they'll come down from class and they will sit with you in the gym, have you lined up, and every kid or part of the senior class is with some kids or a group of kids from sixth or seventh grade, teaching them how to tie a tie.
Nice.
So like this year, we're gonna have to do the same thing. We're gonna have to come downstairs. We're gonna have to, hey guys, tie our hair. You gotta flip. So that's a culture of Eagle. It really makes us work.
Now, wonder you guys are all so close, and I'm not just referring to the basketball team. Like all of you Eagle guys, even the guys that play for us at Wingate, y'all gang.
Once you're Eagle, it doesn't matter what school you go to, you're still gonna have a home here, respectfully.
And in a lot of schools, the basketball team seems to be separate, and sometimes they could walk around like they above the students. I don't get that vibe from you, and I think that contributes to the love the other students have for y'all, because they really feel like, hey, those are one of us up there.
Like,
there's not a barrier.
So even though we're a team, even though we talk to each other every day, we're not. We still have our own friend groups.
Yeah.
So like me personally, like we have kids on the team that's part of the anime club. Yeah. I'm part of the ping pong club. I'll be in there playing ping pong. We got kids that be doing anime technology. Like we still have our friend groups outside the team. So when it comes to not practicing, we still with regular kids that don't play sports, that are not really nerds, but that do their job, that do their work, that have 100 above averages. So you still have a different type of friend group every single day. So
that's one of the things I kind of dislike about the basketball culture is this separatism. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, bro, when I played ball, I played for my people who couldn't play, for my family. Like, I want everybody to be a part of this ride. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of amazing to see that. So, you talk about when you guys won the championship, I looked at your little, your group, and they was just going bonkers.
And like to stop, for that same reason why you think like basketball teams are like secluded from their students, they put more stuff on us sport. Like they hold us to standards. Yeah. So even though if you walk in with a hoodie on, right, and you're not supposed to work on, you're supposed to show your tie, your shirt tucked in, right, they might tell regular students to take it off. But for the basketball team, you're gonna get it worse because you're supposed to set a standard. Oh yeah. So we might get treated differently in a certain aspect, but we get it, the blame, we get the standards, we get the expectations worse because we're supposed to hold a standard. So that beats the whole thought of us being treated differently. We are treated differently for sure, but it's not like we're treated differently to a point where it's not fair. We have more baggage on us, so we have more stuff to deal with. So,
with great responsibility comes great expectations.
Oh, Coach Kev, Mission Me says that almost every morning.
Yo, I'm an Eagle. Big Eagle.
Come on.
But no, all jokes aside, I went to Boys and Girls at a time when this type of stuff was going on. So when I watch you guys from afar, I'm like, oh, snap, I've seen that before. And I don't think these other schools understand what that is going to do for your basketball program. That culture persists in the building. And it trickles down to the team. Meanwhile, other teams, they are responsible for, and that could be taxing for a program. I think you guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with for years to come. I want to look ahead. College. How we feeling? What we thinking about? What we looking at? Who's in our DMs? Who's on our phones, man? What's up?
Right now, Farmerdale for me it's calling my name. Mom loves Farmerdale. It might be a low D3, D2, but what I have to learn is I'd rather go to
Farmerdale is a Division III program in Long Island. Go ahead.
For sure. I'd rather go to a low D3, D2 and work my butt off for the next 4 or 5 years to go up, then go from a D1 to then a D2, then back to D1. Because it's like I like to be the underdog. I like to, you know what I'm saying, have to put in extra work because that's just the person I am, person I was built into. I have more people. I say Farmerdale because they reached out and got me a visit this summer, and they are still they still contact with me every day. Legit.
That's what's up.
Contact me yesterday.
What was it like? What was the visit like?
The visit, the unofficial visit, it was nice, and I say nice because I like to be far. I've been ready to leave my house since 2nd grade. I've been asking to go to boarding school, but it's not far enough where my mom can't feel safe.
For sure.
So Farmingdale is a nice, you know what I'm saying, gym is a nice, gym gets huge. The gym get packed. They show me a video of it, show me the pictures of how big the gym gets. It's nice. They have a lot of programs I probably join, ping pong, lacrosse.
What do you want to study?
Me personally, right now, where I'm thinking of is, right now I'm top 2. It's business accountant. So I probably major in accounting or specialize in economics, whatnot. And then architecture, engineering. Basically.
That's big time stuff. Big time. I have an accounting degree actually, but I can't count. Division III. I played Division III basketball, man. I think the most important thing is to go to school, lock in, and be great. You could go to Farmingdale, win 3 championships, be conference player of the year, score 1,500 points. Like, that's what I say when I said what I did in college. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't always go, oh, D1. No. I went to school. I achieved at the highest level. I walked away with my degree. I walked away with a phenomenal network ready to do whatever I want to do. That's what's most important.
So now a goal I have for myself this year, it's not even getting an athletic scholarship. I want myself to get a regular scholarship for academics wise, but to a D1 school, because it's different. You get an academic scholarship, you're held to a different standard, and I need a school, or I need anywhere to hold me to a spot where I gotta do great. So the standard they have for me is I'm gonna do great if I have an academic scholarship. So I want an academic scholarship where I have to keep my GPA higher than regular, and that walk-on experience is like me coming back from JV to varsity. Yeah, I want that experience again. So I'm trying to. That's one of my goals this year before I graduate, and when I go to college, I want to see and try and apply for academic scholarships to D1 schools.
I don't think young people understand that academics is another way to compete. When you're talking about a scholarship, if a coach walk in the gym and both of you kids are the same talent, but one of you got a 3.9 GPA, I'm going with the scholar. And I don't think your peers understand this, and it pisses me off. It is another way to separate yourself from the pack. Right? And when you play this college basketball, this is the foundation for what the rest of your life is going to be.
So personally, my team, my basketball varsity team, we don't even include coaches in that. Like, when it comes to our grades, we have competition. We're all competitive a lot. So whoever has the higher grades is like, we have a little 1v1 tournament. Whoever has the highest goes straight automatically to the championship. Okay. So we create a little system to make us improve our grades. So we, like, if somebody has a 70 in the class and a teammate is in that class and you have a 92, y'all failing together.
Straight up. Because
there's no way, because we still get held to a standard if on our team somebody gets loaded at 75 or 80, it's like you can't play or you can't practice for a day or you got to get grades up. So there should be no reason why, even if you got to sneak a little or you got to help your teammate, whatever your teammate needs as your brother, you got to help him. Because if it's the other way around on the court, you gotta help him too.
For sure, same
you
thing.
You gotta help him on the court and outside of class. So it's either way.
You familiar with the 1-4 we all for?
Huh?
You ain't know I knew that. You ain't know I knew that, bro.
Coach Kev, stop talking, Coach Kev. But nah,
that was for Coach Kev. That's for Bryce and Aiden. You ain't see that episode yet.
I ain't see that.
I ain't put it out yet.
You see what I'm saying? So like, Eagle is like really about that.
They make you accountable to each other.
Since middle school, it's like if one kid bugs out in 6th grade, the whole 6th grade got to go in line and can't, like, middle school to high school, right? Because what we used to call it, it's a word or it's a term for it where it's like, let's say if you have a bad day, right? Because everybody got bad days, right? And you're bugging out in school and you get in trouble, and you causing everybody else to get in trouble, you causing mishap. The whole grade got paid for it. Yeah. Nobody going to the gym. Everybody on lockdown. You're not having, like, you going to class and that's lunch and you coming back to class. You're not eating downstairs. So that's what China's Eagle Academy experience, discipline, and everything around it is entirely different. So that 1-4 we all for, some people hate it because it's like, I'm doing my role.
It makes you accountable to your brother. That's phenomenal.
I really like love that for me because now it's forcing me to socialize. I'm a kid. I don't really socialize.
But another school you told me that might be in rare, NYU. I love that for you.
Right.
But let me tell the people how I know Mr. Flemming. I was a high school basketball coach in the city. I had a young man on my team by the name of Amari Hines. And Ajani would always be around. That was his boy. Now, a lot of these basketball players have these hanger-on type friends that many of us coaches wish they would just cut loose. But Ajani was different. He was a young man that spoke with confidence. You know, you can see that he truly respected his friend and appreciated his friend. How do I know this? Because one day I went to see Omari at a track and field event competing, and Ajani was there. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, them track and field events is not the most glamorous of days. They're long.
Be there at 7, you don't lead to a 7.
It's boring. And when I saw him there and supported his friend, I thought, wow, man, this is true friendship. I was even more impressed when I learned that Ajani was a stellar athlete himself. Because as a basketball player in the city, playing for the eventual city champions, the AA division, they're competing at what is considered a higher level than us, yet he finds time to support his friend. And to me, that whole scenario just spoke volumes about who he is. And I would see those two interacting. They might have $1 between each other, but all that means is we each got 50 cents. They breaking it down, they sharing.
Every time.
If one person go to concession saying, yo, bro, what you need? And I'm sitting back watching this. I'm like, wow. That's the experience I had with him before I even knew he was a basketball player. And when I saw him play basketball, it was in line with who he was or the person that I knew him to be. Selfless, willing to do whatever he needed to do for his people. And I said, yo, I really like this young man. I want to speak with him. When you walk in the room, the confidence that you speak with, the ability to articulate yourself, I think it's rare, especially for a young man of color. Have you heard that before?
I've heard it a couple times, once in a while, yeah. Because it's like,
where does that come from? Is that Eagle? Is that fan? Where does that come from?
That's from building myself. Because what people don't understand is, I just started talking probably 2017, 2018. Before that, I used to be sign language. My mom really thought I was mute because I never spoke. Because when I swear, I always get told the story. I always get told it. I prove it too. I never spoke. Like, if you ask me a question, I just really just look at you and be quiet. The confidence came from, as you can see, I have a stutter. I talk really fast. I am trying to get whatever I have in my head out through so people can understand who I am. And the only way you could do that is by talking. And I used to really dislike when people really thought of me of someone else that I would never be. Because I used to get the portrait of being my father. I used to get the portrait of me just being another basketball player, of me being just another black kid being part of Brooklyn. And me taking a step outside of Brooklyn and me changing my environment by going playing basketball in Long Island, which is just a different environment, it forces me to have to come up now and show you guys who I really am. I'm not no regular black kid. I'm not no regular colored male that has just dreams playing basketball. I'm a person where I have a goal for myself, just not for my family, but it's for me. My family comes first, for sure, but I come before that. And who comes before me is only God. So I have to put myself in the best predicament myself. And if it hurts to a point where I got to leave somebody behind or I got to change my environment, I got to do so. So
are you saying it was important for you to kind of break this typical young black man mold?
My family, outside of my mom, my sister, we all competitive. I have an uncle and an aunt. They got kids too. And bragging rights, family, we're all competitive. So if a kid gets a 90 and your kid gets a 78, you're going to hear for it the whole year to Christmas. And it's like, that right there, that little competitiveness from my family all started me being competitive in anything I do. Class, school, being confident. Because without me being confident, I won't be where I'm at today. Without me having a heart and without having confidence to speak out and do and move how Ajani Flemming moves, I will never be the same person. I would never be the person I would want to become. So that confidence was always built before sports. I just me. I had to.
Specifically with the talk, you said 2017 you were mute. But like you're the type of kid, and you know me, I'd be just low key in the back. When you walk in the room, I'm like, I notice, like, though this young man is a little bit different. You know, the way, again, you look out for Amari, the way you articulate yourself. And it's not I want to make sure I'm clear. It's not in an arrogant way. It's just I am aware of who I am. It's all the respect in the world, but hey, I'm a young man.
I got boundaries.
Worthy of respect also.
It's a problem I feel like with our generation. Certain kids, they don't have boundaries for themselves. It's not about having boundaries about who you be around, but for yourself, you should set a different type of goal and an expectation for yourself. If I'm not doing what I gotta do for myself, and if I'm not at the right mental state, I'm sorry, I gotta push away, y'all. I can have a great day. I hope I had the best, but until I feel comfortable in my skin and feel comfortable where I'm good, whatever happens in my life, then maybe I'll come back out. But there's been times where I really have shut down and I have just been by myself where I feel like sometimes the best play is not to shut down. Sometimes the best play is not to just walk away from certain things. Sometimes you really got to go through that little problem to really get to the best goal. So my boundaries is really high. My mom have always told me whatever I do, doesn't matter what I do, it don't have to be sports, it don't have to be having a job. Whatever I do, have boundaries for myself, because when people don't have boundaries and when people just react because of the moment, worse things can happen. So,
Where'd you grow up at?
Brooklyn.
What part? Just give me you said that Wingate area, right?
I've been here for about 7 years. The other half is like I was either by Gateway and in the houses in the back, or I was part of the East New York, so I was by like Shepherd Avenue. But I was not really home.
With the young people, your peers who may be getting in trouble and doing things that are not productive, that's an environment so many of us grow up in. How do you set the boundaries in those communities? Because again, some young people, I think they want to do the right thing, but they succumb to the peer pressure. You stand tall, walk tall. When they see you, they know it's books, it's basketball, get out my way. How do you set those boundaries, and what advice would you give to youngsters who are struggling with that?
My advice is never to be scared to be alone, because being alone is not a problem. Not having real friends yet in your life is never a problem, because some of these adults don't even have real friends till the age of 25, till they go to college. So I was always perfectly fine by being by myself sometimes. Because to this point, if you told me, hey, AJ, I'm going to do my own thing, I'm going to move on, I'm going to toast you, I hope the best. So be by yourself helps a lot, because it forces you to work on yourself. It forces you to have to build that confidence, build the person you are. So once you figure out who you are, you can show it to everybody else. So me being by myself helped a lot.
Wow,
helped a lot because
that's deep, son.
Helped a lot because when you go outside, you don't know what you might face.
Yeah.
Now, if you're outside by yourself and you see 7 people that's being misled into something else, you could control yourself, have boundaries for yourself, and respect yourself enough to be like, I'm not going with you guys. I got other goals. I have fun with you guys. I laugh, smile, hang around with you guys just because in the moment I'm just chilling. But that don't mean I have to be with you guys, because I always live by the term, if the bird got the same color, same skin, I flock together for real. So I've always tried to be that guy where you look at the group and you know I'm different.
Yeah.
It's not about just basketball being skilled. You know I'm a weird kid. I'm really a weird kid.
Let me tell the audience about scheduling this podcast. And it just highlights how much you are about your business. I said, yo, Johnny, I want you in a podcast. He was like, all right. I said, yo, let's put together a date. I'm thinking he gonna tell me in a few days or something. This man picked a date 3 weeks out. And I believed him too. He stuck with it. I'm like, he about his business. He got his schedule. He regimented. He noticed what he's doing. He said, this is back. Yeah, September, so-and-so.
The reason I think I'd be like probably July.
Yeah, and I believed him too. I said, all right, cool. I'll save the date. And sure enough, he came through, man. That's just a testament to who you are, man. That's integrity. And I challenge you to always keep that in every aspect of your life.
Oh, my. That big word integrity, every practice. After we stretch, coach, how do y'all? He might ask somebody random. If it's like new kid came in today, yesterday. Who could tell me the definition of integrity? And he does it every practice, because it's something that one word could lead to a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
So, I feel like,
let me find out. I'll be spitting Eagle facts.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you, like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because you've been hanging around Eagle. Maybe you should become an Eagle or whatnot. But it's really how integrity works different, because it helps you become a man that you want to be. So It's really experience I've been going through. Still trying to find myself. Not fully there yet.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do or what is my goal in life. I know it. I know there's probably going to change in a couple of years. I know it's probably be a little add-ons to it. But right now I'm just trying to create a lane for myself.
2 things I want to put on your radar: law, like a law degree. You talk about business. You talk about accounting. That'd be cool. And politics.
Now, I was part of what you call it? Back in like 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd grade. I was part of like a politic group. So I forgot what the class is called. You go in, you have
Political
discussions.
science?
Not science. It's, what is it? Something argument, right? I'll go in. I wouldn't speak, but I would love the class. So I would have a friend next to me, whatnot, and I'll just write what everybody talking about. And then after that, after class, I'll write what I really thought. Like I really whole essay in 5th grade. I'm like, yo, I don't feel like this is the right way to go about it. Or I wouldn't verbally speak, but I would write it down and give it in. And that's how I got my grade for political argument. So I feel like law enforcement.
No, not law enforcement. A law degree.
Law degree.
Law school.
My mother always told me, be a lawyer. You like to argue. You like to, because me personally, yeah, I like to argue.
You think not even getting in a courtroom, but you think about the deals that's being signed. You need a lawyer in the room, son. Barack Obama, lawyer. A lot of these commissioners of these leagues. You talk about these agents. Like your big business, you need a lawyer, son.
So,
and when I say politics is about fighting for resources for the community. You got the credibility with your people. You have the integrity, your ability to get up in front of people, articulate yourself. 2017, you were mute. You're no longer, and you're only going to get better. So even as you go into your college career, get involved with student government, different things, man. Like you could change the world. And if you see people up on a podium who ain't doing for your people, well, one way to combat that is I'll take that slot.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to move to some young people topics before we get out of here. And I've been meaning to bring this up for a long time with some of the other young people I spoke with. I keep forgetting. But I got you here. When these kids go on these recruiting visits, this is the one thing that pisses me off. I hate when you put the jersey on of a school that you're not committed to.
So.
Hold on, Jay.
What?
I attended Kingsborough Community College. Imagine if there was a picture of me with a BMCC jersey on floating around. I went to York College in Queens. Imagine if there was a picture of me with a John Jay jersey floating around. Don't do it. I get the vibe and the energy. You having fun. And my last piece, you know, inside the NBA with Charles, Kenny won't even say Duke's name because he went to UNC. He says that school in Durham.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to. Everybody's
Yo,
Duke
bro,
fan.
stop putting the jerseys on.
I'm not a Duke fan. Because I'm big UNC to the fullest. But I respect it. I understand where you're coming from. I feel like certain kids do it because, well, the higher kids do it. But I'm saying the kids that is 5 stars or whatnot, they do it because they probably really not sure. So, is it smarter and safer to not put the jersey on? For sure. But for kids that are coming out of the bottom, they do want to experience it. And some kids probably not going to get that chance ever again. So I definitely agree with
They're not going to get that chance. They're a D1 prospect. You're going to put somebody's jersey on. Yo, bro, do not put everybody's jersey on. I've been meaning to say it forever.
I told myself this. I said, hey, AJ, even though if it's a D3, D2 school, right? I told myself, it's probably not a dumb decision, but probably an immature decision was, whatever school give me a full ride, I won't give it a D4. And D4 is not even possible. I'm committed because if one person can see it, and I know other people can see it, whoever gets me first, if you reach out to me, I'm not an impossible person to reach out to. If you tell me, AJ, I got a game in Bronx, it's probably gonna be trash. I got you. I'm coming. What time? 4 o'clock. I'm gonna be there too. Just because it's like my dedication is not even just about basketball. It's just basketball is something I use as an example to create a mindset for myself. So if I could get up 6 o'clock in the morning to go play basketball, I could get up 6 o'clock in the regular day to go work out, to do some reading, to go to the library, to do some cleaning. So I use basketball and just not for a sport, but I use it as far as a mindset to build myself for life. So I just feel like not putting a jersey on is probably the smartest thing to do.
Nah, I mean, I'm just messing around. I know those kids be having fun, but Yo, like Bronny did that Ohio State jersey, and now he at USC. Yo, stop putting freaking jersey on. But
Hey, man.
which one of these young ballers you really watching? Out of Bronny, kind of all them young ballers, who's the goods?
No one. I don't like nobody because you gotta play me for me to respect you.
Who's the best player you ever matched up against?
My teammate. I don't.
Who?
I'm not caring about my best player I've played against. Probably Taj Bryant.
His teammate at Eagle. Come on, son. You've been all around the globe with this. Who's the best player, man? All right, outside of your teammate.
That stuck to me. That showed me they're crazy. That they really go get a bucket.
Yeah. Boogie Flan.
Yo, everybody keeps telling me like Boogie Flan can be tough, and it's no disrespect to him. He's a great D1 player of my class. He's amazing, right? Mm-hmm. But when he played against us, it was nothing that surprised me because I already played at a high Brooklyn level. I say the only man that really popped out to me is them two Jeff kids, Connor and Man.
Copy. Real quick, I was speaking to your former teammate Eric Acker, who is now at LIU. Mm-hmm. So what type of teammate was Ajani? Say he brings the energy, the person to dedicate himself to get a stop on defense, and a very hard worker.
Sounds like me.
That's what your man Eric Acker
Sports
said to. I asked him what question he wanted me to ask you, and I'm gonna ask you that at the end. But one more thing before we get to that, and we're not saying any names. I need your help with this. We're not saying any names. We're not saying the school's name. Mm-hmm. Two prominent young stars in this city have opted to move on from the public school league. Mm-hmm. Okay? Usually I can come up with a theory as to why, but I don't know why they would leave the city at this point and go to play at prep school. Especially with the school that they left from, where they were the stars. They had the freedom to play any which way they wanted. That school has sponsorship deals. That school has produced Division I talent. That school even produced an NBA player. So Ajani, I'm just asking you to help me with a possible theory as why they would move on from the public school athletic league.
So funny thing is, I played one of them yesterday in the open gym. I seen him yesterday. I didn't ask no question, but I asked him, why did you leave? But again, I feel like the experience for everybody's different. So yes, maybe that school did produce D1 players. Maybe that school did produce a NBA player. Every kid experience for different schools is different, and we can't say anything about it because we're outsiders.
Right.
Every kid's...
Hold on. Yo, that's a mature take. I told you I let it go. All right, keep going.
Every kid look into their role for that school could be different. Every kid's dream could be different. So what you got to realize is everybody's mind think differently. So maybe that kid was like, hey, we've been top of our grade or of our class for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing good and whatnot. But maybe we take a risk to leave for a bigger win, because you got to think
a bigger program.
Yeah, you got to think about the school.
Okay, let me jump in right there. A bigger program. Mm-hmm. A lot of the coaches that I've spoken to, they lament the fact that the high school coaches are not as needed as they once were. That's the bad word, but not as relied upon when it comes to the college recruiting process because of AAU basketball. So if you're playing big time AAU basketball, which some of those kids are, why do you need to move on from your high school?
So now I feel like this is where that AAU experience plays an impact. These kids that we talking about here, they play DYBL.
Yes.
Now you gotta realize though, if they could. Now, it's like saying this, right? If you at a school where you're averaging 30, right? But you're getting okay looks, right? You go play AAU, you averaging probably 12, 15, playing high competition with basketball, and you get your offers from there, and you feel like maybe this game here is a little bit too easy. Maybe this game here is not challenging a little bit more. Maybe I should leave and take that risk to challenge you more. Maybe that's the reason why. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, we on the podcast. You my God, I'm definitely be honest with you. I have had a thought before of leaving, because it was more far as after I see everybody leaving and the competition leaving, it's like, damn, everybody. It's like, where's everybody? Where's the PSAL AA feeling at? Because when South Shore was here, you got dogs on South Shore, big 6'8" guards playing basketball. South Shore, that's tough. You got Jefferson, straight dogs. They might be 5'8", but they're going to bang it on your head. They're going to play basketball. They're going to come out with heart. So it's really like for that kid, their experience might be different. Their goal that they have for themselves might be, I don't want to take it easy, but I want somebody that's going to come every day, play a team. Every team that they want to play against, when they want that nationally ranked team. They want that team where it's one day you might lose, one day you might be beat by 30, and the coaches are still there watching you. So I feel like public schools, they're definitely improving because the last couple of years you've seen there's crazy coaches at public schools, crazy D1 schools at public schools watching us play. But at the end of the day, I feel like certain kids forget that just because it's a public school and just because another school might be a prep or private, you might still get the same experience. It's all about a risk.
And I think I'm glad you mentioned that. You're looking at the league, and when these kids go, that has an impact on you guys. Mm-hmm. I think we all should look at this and see what we could do to fix it. Sure. Because you won a city championship off a miraculous shot, but what makes that city championship special is the competition you played against.
Yes, sir.
So we should all. We all want to be great and we want our programs to be good, but it behooves us to pay attention to our competition and make sure they're okay too.
So the first person that left that kind of bugged me was, everybody said his name, Anthony Gilks.
Okay.
Because he was a top player 2024.
In the nation.
He came to Brooklyn. He chose Brooklyn to come play basketball. And I'm not going to lie to you.
We missed out on that.
I love to play top competition. So when people ask me, oh, wow, why don't you say Boogie Flint's the best player you played against? Because it's not that he's not good. It's not that he's not a great player. It's really who was I really excited to play. Anthony Cook was one of them. Mm-hmm. Because it wasn't that he came to Brooklyn and played. It's he came to Brooklyn, he went to South Shore. That's really one of our rivals. So when he left, I was like, all right, it's fine. They're going to find it. They picked the 2 guards from Mali immediately.
Malloy,
I apologize. Malloy.
Let me tell you something. When I was in high school, there was 3 NBA players in the PSAL at once. Mm. At once. Gary Forbes of Banneker, Quincy Dubia Grady, Sebastian Telfair, Abraham Lincoln. That's 3 NBA players. We're not even counting career pros like Gary Irvin and your assistant coach, Eugene Lawrence. Mm-hmm. We only getting work. I don't know if we had 3 NBA players in the last 20 years. Somebody need to fix it. I'm not asking you.
This is where I feel like prep schools has taken away the culture for public. I feel like this is where AU has also made a big difference. Because you got to realize these AU coaches that find that player that they like, they want to get closer to that player.
Yeah.
So I'm saying this because my AU coach, he's in Long Island, Empire Athletics. So my coach, Derek Klein, is like, I would want to be closer to him too. But then again, it's like I have something back at home. I've been building for a couple of years. I'm not just going to throw that away. Right. So it's like certain kids, you got to remember, how long has they been there for that school? They've been there for, 2 years? And it's been a lot of commotion for those 2 years they've been there. You have to think of everything that happened outside of basketball. Wow. So certain kids, I'm loving it. It's Eagle Academy. Even if I don't play basketball, I'm going to love Eagle Academy. Mm-hmm. So it's really hard to just throw that behind. So I feel like if I can't speak on them. It's their choice. I wish the best. I text them, talk to them almost every other day. Yo, what's going on? Let's get scrimmage. Let's see how better you got since you left. You know what I'm saying? But I wish the best for them.
For sure.
I do want to play them again. I want to play again.
Nah, of course we wish the best for them because they still our kids. I just want to see this conference, public school athletically, be the best it can be. That's it. And again, I tell you about a time when the glory days. Can you imagine 3 NBA players at once? You can't even fathom that. At one time, bro.
Problem is like we see the college portal open up now. We treating high school like college.
Let me get this Eric Acker question out the way. I said, yo, E, what you want me to ask him? Says something probably around, how does he feel about this upcoming year since it's a lot of pressure on Eagle for them to go back to the chip? Talk to me about the pressure. Talk to me about what we can expect from Eagle this year.
Of course, I gotta talk highly of Eagle, but pressure is a thing where it only feels like it's pressure based on who's on. what I'm saying? Now, pressure for me is different. I feel like Eagle, when we do the best, we have the best outcomes when it comes to us being pressured. Diamonds are made from pressure. So we're going to be fine. Like, I'm not so pressured and so worried and so, like, thinking about season where it's like, oh, this play might not do this. We might not exceed. No, I'm wishing for it to happen. Because I like to see us when we break down from being at some place and now we build from that now, because it's a different type of experience when you being broken down. Now you have to rebuild yourself because it's like, yo, now you got to put more effort in. And I'm a person where you see my teammates say it yourself. I love to put the effort. I love to have to. You gotta get up age to do a workout. You gotta get up with your teammate to go put that more effort in because it's helping us at the end of the day.
Is it about repeating or is it building back up again? Is it a new season? What's your take on going back after the championship?
Who wouldn't want to repeat? You know what I'm saying? But then again, it's like it's more as far as this team's not the same team.
It's not.
So
it's not.
we have to. You know what I'm saying?
You got to start all over again, son.
So that's fine.
That's okay.
That's fine.
I was fortunate to win 2 city championships back to back in college. Mm-hmm. You can't skip any steps.
Oh.
You can't skip any steps. And sometimes people want to fast forward to the end. No. Especially with these new guys that you have on the team. This is new for them. They got to run them suicides the same. They got to touch that line the same. They got to do those. Don't skip any steps. Don't think, yo, we starting from the Barclays again. Nah, bro. It's back to the empty gym.
That's why I feel like the pressure, it feels different depends on who it's on. Mm-hmm. Because I know these kids are feeling that pressure in practice. Mm-hmm. I know they're like, damn, we really got to run because I said okay back to the coach, or I gave a bad body language. Yes, because it's different at Eagle. It's just you really have to put your greatest effort mentally, physically, and emotionally to this game. So I feel like pressure it depends on who the person is. Mm-hmm. So I pressure to our team, our new teammates, they feeling it right now. But I'm telling you this now, once they get that feeling of being home, of a PSAL game, they're going to be fine. Now, and PSAL game, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for this season. I'm ready for us to start going. I'm ready for us to have intense practices because we got a game on Tuesday and it's Monday. But what I'm really excited for is them non-league games because I want to see how we play when there's really nothing behind it, when there's nothing, there's no record on it. Because what people forget is...
Y'all got some heavyweights on the schedule? Give me one.
One? Luha. But still, it's really because now you got to play top teams. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be coaches there, so you got to show out. And Luha got a what you call it? They have a reputation of being Brooklyn teams. Mm-hmm. South Shore beat them by 1 when they beat us. They beat them by 1 point. So you gotta realize if they can do that, why we can't do that?
For sure.
So it's more like, yo, I'm excited. I'm excited to play the top teams.
Those non-league games, I'm glad you bring that up because that's an opportunity to raise your profile outside of the city. Those are very important. And you're right. I think sometimes kids slack off because this doesn't determine what our championship. No, those are big games, man. But you're the best, son.
Guys are the best for last, man.
I appreciate you a great deal. I appreciate the young man that you are in our community.
For sure.
I really do. I enjoy watching you play. I enjoy having you around. Thank you for doing this. Give some shout-outs, man.
I want to shout out Maury because I'm not glad to. He's the guy that brought me to basketball. Mom Dukes, of course. Mom, you pushed me into farthest. My teammates, because they keep me in check. I'm still a kid at the end of the day. I might come off track. Eagle Academy, the man you guys have built, the person you have created to create an effect in this community. And I just gotta wish God, man. You know what I'm saying? Wish everybody from Wingate, Mayor. I called him before I got here. He's like, you better shout me out. Gotta shout Mayor out.
Mayor?
Yeah, Mayor. I gotta go to your school, Mayor.
Oh, I don't know what, man.
You'll find out. He can be at every game this year. But now, I just want to shout out for everybody I've been around that has built me, you know what I'm saying, today, because I'm very appreciative. I love who I am now. I feel like I could become greater. And we just move on forward. We always push forward. We always take a little step forward. Never come back. That's all. That's all, man. I like to talk.
That's it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Ajani Flemming. I'm William Holly. That was WBH Radio. Yeah.
Juice.